Hello, everybody. It is Lynn, the Go Live Granny, and it's Lynn, the Go Live Granny, on time. Going live on time. My goodness, what is the world coming to? This is absolutely marvelous. I've got fired up, as Richard said. I can see, I'm fired up and ready to go. And I know that I've gone live on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I'm gone live on both. So let's have a little look. I'm going to just pop over here and see if I can see whether I am live on YouTube. Let's see. It'll probably talk to me when I don't want it to, but let's have a look. Oh, yes, there we go. We're live on YouTube. Let's put the sound off there. That's it. So we're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. The Tina's come in from Facebook. Oh, we are cooking on gas. We've got it right. Wow, how amazing was that? Definitely live on both because Tina's in as well. Look, I can show you Tina's coming in on Facebook. So you can see we've got Facebook. We can got Richard on YouTube. So we've done it. I've done it. I've sorted it again. So what I did. Wait a minute. Let me just put the timestamp at the front of it. So I am Go Live Granny here, live streaming on Sunday, the 23rd of February, 2025. Now I've got the date right. Oh, no, it's turned me on my side. I was getting too excited there and it's turned me on its side and I don't know why. All I can do is turn my camera around again like I did last week. So wait a minute. Hang on, folks. Let's see. I will have to turn me round and do it in portrait. You like my fascinator and my hat? Right, so I'm going to have to do it in portrait. Let's see. I've got my wire coming out the bottom of my phone again, charging it up. Let's see. Whoops, will this work? Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. Wait a minute. What I can do, I'll hold it for a little while until it's charged up a little bit more. And then, so this is, I was getting too excited, wasn't I, here on Sunday, the 23rd of February, 2025. Oops, hang on. Being attacked by a bag of smoothie hats. Let's put those up there. Whoops. Oh my goodness. I thought we were in for a good night with everything going okay. But of course, it's been a week of shenanigans, hasn't it? You know what some of you will know what a dreadful time I had on Monday getting home. Where was I coming? I was coming home from the north. Where was I coming home from? Yes, I was coming home from the north of England and I had a dreadful time, which you will hear all about. Some of you will have seen that on my social media, but anyway, we'll have a chat about as we go forward. I'll tell you what, I'll put this in the stand. I'll take the charger out for a minute, and when I see that the charge is getting low, I'll have to pick it up and hold it. Let's see if I can do it like this. I have to ask Tristan why it keeps turning on its side. I have no idea why we're doing that. So look, smoothie hats, a lot of smoothie hats coming in. You won't see so much of the background this way, you see, because I like to stream this way. But I bet it's going to tip me again. Let's see whether it does or not. Who knows? You'll all get giddy. It's like we're on a merry-go-round. So we'll carry on. And I can see quite a few people in the stream. Do join in and chat if you want to. If you're new here, please feel free to come and join in as long as you're nice. We don't mind if you're nice and you make nice comments. But if you're not nice, then we block you. All right. That's happened in the past, but we just haven't had to do that for a long time. Let's hope we don't have to do any more of that. So, oh, it's gone again. I've no idea. Right. Okay. It's going to have to be this way. I don't like doing it in portrait. I like it in landscape. Tristan always taught me to do it in landscape. But it's not it's not going to work, so we'll just do it this way. Hello, Kath. Only just making dinner, so we'll catch up later. No problem, Kath. I know that you've been very busy and you've had a tiring time, and I know that because I've been with you. So there we are. Richard's telling us it's the anniversary of the flag raising by the US Marines on Iwo Jima in 1945. Sorry. Hello, Andrea, coming in there from Facebook. So I was so excited to manage to get in on Facebook and YouTube because, as you know, folks, for the last 3 weeks, I've managed to mess it up and not get in on the Go Live Granny channel on YouTube. So most of you came over and found me on Facebook because you knew I was there. If you're regular here, you know I go live on both. And what happened, I think I've got 2 profiles set up on the StreamYard, which is the software I'm streaming on, and I suddenly realized I'd got, I realized, or somebody told me, I think Richard might have, one of you might have told me, and I think it's probably Richard, told me that I was actually streaming from the wrong profile. So I years ago I set up a Lynn Blackned's profile on YouTube, and then I set up a Go Live Granny one, and that's the one I want to stream on, and the other one's not got much on it. So somehow they've both got logged into Tristan's StreamYard. I must have done it, but of course when I've been setting it up, I've been setting it up from my phone, and the pictures are little tiny icons like that, so I can't always see. I can see it's me, my name, but I couldn't see which one. And last week I thought I'd got it right, and I'd realized there were 2, and I thought I got it right and I hadn't, and I went wrong again last week. So you all came over to Facebook and found me over there. But so tonight what I set it up from my computer where the screen is much bigger. The icons are much bigger and I could see what I was doing. But of course I set it up on the computer, and then I forgot how I would come in on my phone. There's different procedures and it's not that difficult, but I do forget a lot of things these days. You know, my mind goes blank sometimes, a little bit of brain fog, and then I forget. So anyway, it was easy to go live, but obviously we're having shenanigans as to whether it will do me upright or on my side. I remember one day it tipped me on my side and I couldn't rotate the phone. The phone wouldn't rotate it back again. So I lay on my side doing the broadcast, and that way I was then actually upright. But I'm not going to be lying on my side today. Anyway, do you like the fascinator? I thought I would wear this. I am getting wedding ready. Family wedding coming up. This is not what I'm wearing for the wedding. I do have a fascinator, but it's not this one, and I'm not showing it. I'm not doing any spoiler alert because I'm not showing my outfit off until the wedding day, and then after the wedding we will put pictures up and you will see my outfit and all that. So I didn't want to spoil it, but I thought, why don't I get wedding ready, just get in the mood and have this one. Now this was a fascinator. Now I got this out of the cupboard when I was looking for outfits and things to see whether I would wear this one or another one or whatever. And then I couldn't remember when I'd had this one and where I wore it. And I tell you, I'm getting a bit forgetful on things, not on lots of things, but some things. And I couldn't remember where I wore it. But anyway, I recently went back into some of my photographs, and it was my nephew's wedding. I wore this to my nephew's wedding some years ago. So now I know why I had it. Debs is having that icon problem on Zoom with micro icon. Oh, right. Okay. I don't know what it is. Gremlins, is it? Is it Gremlins in here? We won't worry about it. Okay, let's take that comment off. Then otherwise, there we go. So last week I was in the north. I live streamed because I was with my son and my future daughter-in-law, and I live streamed from their house last week. I did cut off a bit abruptly at the end because I was in their lounge and they said it didn't matter and I could be there, but then they came in and I thought, oh, it's a bit rude for me to be doing this while they might want to watch the TV or something like that. So I think I cut off a bit abruptly, but we had been on quite a long time. So I hope you didn't mind that. And then I sat with them and we watched I can't remember what we watched. I think we had a film on or something like that, which was nice family time. So I'm just going to get myself some fizz. I'll be careful with this fizz because I had a bottle of fizz on Friday night, and it fell over, and I picked it. It only fell over, it was a small bottle, and it was already started, and it fell on its side. I was in the cinema, and it fell on its side, and I just turned it up. It didn't go crash or anything. It just was a little plop down. When I opened it up, it went dear, oh dear. I didn't get too wet, fortunately. So anyway, you know, if you've been watching my me from the beginning of this week, you will know. Oh, software update, right? I don't know. You will know that I started off on Monday with a hell of a day, a hell of a journey. So I had been at my daughter's before I went to the north of England to my son's, and so then I decided that I was going to come home for a few days before I go back to my daughter's, and so it made more sense to come straight from the north straight down to the south. Well, that's what I thought anyway. So I got my train ticket, I got my train booked. I think I had digital tickets. I didn't have to go and collect any tickets from machines. So I'd got it right when I did the booking that I'd made it come as digital tickets, which was fine, because if I don't notice that it's ticked the wrong box, then I have to go and collect tickets from a machine, and I've had so many shenanigans with tickets and machines. So anyway, I had a digital ticket, and even before we got to the station, I had an email saying one of my trains was cancelled. So I was going. I was going from the north, and I wanted to come to Portsmouth and Southsea, and then across on the Hover. Too much fish, I'll be like Fizgogs, a the Black Country. Oh, I don't know that one. Dancing Grannies. I don't know. Or maybe. Yes, I think I might do. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me have some fizz. I've poured it, but forgotten to drink it. Oh, there's Susan. Hi, Susan. And Steve is in the house. Window cleaner Steve is in the house. Susan, can you tag some of our usual people for them to see that we are live? We are live, and we are live on time. But, you know, if you've only just come in, you won't know that I went live in in landscape, and then it turned me on my head, and we had that silly nonsense like we had last week. Thank you. Yes, Steve is hello, and he's in the house. Lots of you in the house. I can see several people in the house. You know, if you're sitting there and watching, do join in the conversation if you want to. If you want to sit in the background and not join in the conversation, that's perfectly fine. You know, don't worry about it. Susan, don't tag Kath. Kath has been in, but she's just doing her dinner, so she's going to watch later. But apart from that, Richard's in the house already. So maybe Patricia, can you tag Patricia? Pauline, that's it. And who else? I can't remember. Lots of them, but I'll think. Oh, Tracy Cool. Can you tag Tracy? And anybody else that you think of, because I can't think of everybody at the minute. So yes, so even before on Monday I got on my train, one bit of the train had been cancelled, so not helpful. Right, okay, so I'm glad you've got Alfie doing the washing up. So you can come and watch us. Okay. Does Alfie mind doing the washing up? I hope he doesn't. Hello, there's Tracy. Lovely, she's in. Excellent. Oh, you're there. Right. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I didn't want you not to be there if you wanted to be there, Tracy, but I hadn't seen you come in. Steve's saying that Alfie had a 60th on Friday, so you're buying him an air fryer. Are you buying him an air fryer so he can cook your tea for you? That sounds like a great idea. Somebody's making fireworks come on here. That's wonderful. So you sent a link to Dancing Grannies. I think I know. Are they Dancing Grannies, or do they sit on are they the grannies that sit on their trolleys like mine, or not? So there we are. Yeah. He always does. You do the cooking. Your roasties are fabulous. Excellent. Titch Nana Tig, lovely to see you in the house, coming in from a windy North Yorkshire. And I have your parcels, and I will be showing those in a short while. Titch Nana Tig. So is that how you want me to address you, or are you Nana Tig? I'm not quite sure how you make up your name, whether Titch and Tig are part of a group of people or whether that's all one person. I don't know. Please, give me a little bit of indication if you can. And oh, that's it. Susan's tagging Andrew and Ailey from the Scottish part of the country. Maybe they'll join us soon. So yes. So I had. Hello, Carol-Ann. Oh, that's lovely. Eunice is home from being in hospital. I knew she was in hospital, Carol, because Pauline told me when we did a meetup on Thursday in Ventnor. So, yes, actually, I had shenanigans when I was even booking my ticket, because when I went over to Cambridgeshire the other day, I couldn't get to Cambridgeshire avoiding London very easily. Well, I managed to get a ticket going via Bristol Parkway, Newport, Birmingham New Street, and then across to the east of the country. But coming back, every time I tried to do the reverse journey, it wouldn't let me unless I went through London, and I don't go through London because me, Navy Nora, my luggage and the underground doesn't work well, so I have to avoid that. So I don't want to go that way. So when I was doing the reverse journey from there, I had to book 2 tickets. I booked from Cambridgeshire to Birmingham New Street, and then Birmingham New Street down to yes, Steve, shenanigans are what makes the world go round, but they did not make the world go round. They made the world almost stop for me on Monday. I was so miserable by the time. I don't do miserable usually, as you know. On Monday I was miserable, but I perked up when members of the community rescued me at the when I got on the island, but we'll get there in due course. If you've been watching the social media, you'll know what happened. Carol hates the underground as well. Well, the overground is bad enough with all the shenanigans I've had this week. But that journey. So sorry, I'm going stop for long enough to get a refund. Well, yes and no, Steve. So the one when I so all right, we'll talk about the refund because I'm having issues. Last Friday was the last day I could claim. You love that hat? Where did I get that hat? Where did this hat was a hat I wore to my nephew's wedding years ago. We've got a family wedding coming up, so I'm getting wedding ready, but I'm not wearing this is not the hat for the wedding that's just coming up. Tracy hates the underground as well. It scares her. She's coming in on Facebook there. So right, I'll go back to the 24th of January before I go to last weekend and Monday's all the shenanigans on Monday. So on Friday I put in a claim for my journey to Cambridgeshire, because some of you might have remembered that I had passenger assistance at Bristol Parkway to get on a train, and the guard wouldn't let me on the train because the train was full, or he said the train was full. We couldn't see into the train very well. It was, I think something happened before my train. I think some trains were cancelled and the platform was mega busy, and cross country are not the best trains to travel on. Now, if they were better than they were, I wouldn't be live streaming from here. I would have gone to my daughter's today, but I could only travel cross country. So I'm going tomorrow on Great Western because they are good. Cross country are rubbish. So anyway, sometimes you can't have the, you can't help it. You have to go whatever it is. But tomorrow I've got the choice. So I stayed home an extra night. And I'm going on Great Western tomorrow. Let's hope Great Western live up to the, up to what I usually get with Great Western, and they are usually very, very good. Let's hope so. Right. Yeah, Richard's put in here, and this will become clear in a minute. He says he felt like he was Jeff Tracy from Thunderbirds directing a rescue remotely with it cross-country shenanigans. And Richard did play a major part in me actually knowing where I was going in the end. And so anyway, right, so I'm going to hop about all over like I always do with these stories. So when I was going to Cambridgeshire, as I say, I had to go. I went. We couldn't find. My daughter was trying, and we were trying to find a route from Wiltshire across country like that. And the natural one kept sending us through London, trying to make me go through London. So my daughter eventually found that I could go to Bristol Parkway, then up to Birmingham New Street, and then across to Cambridgeshire. So that's what I did. But when I got to Bristol Parkway, something had already happened before, and the platform was mega busy. And the passenger assist guy, who was at Bristol Parkway, said cross country. So often, if with Great Western Railway, they will often put me in their first class carriage. Not because I have a first class ticket, because I don't, but it's easier for them in putting me in the disabled section in first class. It works. It's easier for them, and it's nice for me, and I often get a free coffee as well. So, but the guy who was meeting me said, "This is cross country trains you're going on, and they won't let us put you in first class." So we went to where the non-first class. So sometimes why they don't put the disabled sections in the middle of the train, I have no idea. Because it would be, from all the journeys I've done, it would be so much easier. Because if I'm this end and the trains come in the other way round, I have to go all this way. That's happened on cross country more than once. I think they have a game and they think, oh, right, okay, she's going to be that end, so we'll bring the train in the other way round, and then she'll have to go all the other way up the platform. Anyway, so we tried to get in, and I had a booking. I had a reservation, and we couldn't get in because it was too full. I don't know whether there were disabled people in there or whether it's just full of people standing up. I don't know. I couldn't see in. So Dan was the man who was the passenger assist man at Bristol Parkway. And he said, right, well, let's go up the other end and see if we can put you in first class. So we went the whole length on it. And these are never short platforms. I never get the short platforms where I change. I always get the long, so often the trainers say, if you want to get off at this station, you have to be in certain carriage because it's a short platform. Where I get off, it's never a short platform. It's always long, and I'm always often the wrong end of the platform. Anyway, Dan, the railway man. Yes, he was. Hello, Heather. Nice to see you in. Heather coming in there on YouTube. Yes, it would be too easy, far too easy for them. The train stop. Right, Richard says in Jake. The train stopped within, designated zones, and every carriage has disabled space. Well, I think that every carriage should have disabled space because there are a lot of disabled people. And what happened to me was I didn't get on the train. Long story short. So we actually went the whole length of the train, and then the guard's going, when we get down to the first class, he's going like that. So I don't know whether he meant I wasn't allowed to get in the first class, or it was too full. So I am the only one who doesn't get on the train. The rest of the platform was empty. And you can see that because I sat in the waiting room was empty, but the platform was as well. Because I was so peeved, I sat in the waiting room and I did a live. Well, I was peeved and not peeved because I thought, oh, I can feel a refund coming on. Huh, was I wrong? But I'm going to fight it. So I got out the old camera and I videoed and I said, look, I'm sitting in an empty waiting room. Everybody's got on the train and I haven't got on the train. And there's my train just departing from the station. So you can see the train going out. You can see, see me in the waiting room on my own. So I thought at least I would get some refund. And that on that journey, it actually wasn't going to make me an hour late. We were running when I was approaching my final destination. We were running 50 minutes late. Now you get a refund at 15 minutes. You get a refund at half an hour. You get half your money back. If it goes an hour, you get all the money back. Hi, Elizabeth. So you get all your money back. But I was running only 50 minutes late. So I thought, oh, well, never mind. At least I'll get half my money back. But, of course, if you were watching me on that day, you will know that 50 minutes escalated to 58 minutes. And we were just about to approach the station, which would be inside the hour rather than outside the hour, which I wanted it to be an hour. But we were going to come in 2 minutes too early. But the signals went red. And we were held at the red signals for 2 minutes. So we finally pulled into the station an hour after I should have got there on the previous train. So I thought, oh, yes. I messaged Tristan. I can record as we were coming into that station, as the signal went red, I did a screenshot of the time on my phone, and it was at the 58. No, whatever it was, it was the time was showing 58 minutes late, and then I did that quickly in case it moved and I didn't catch the time, so I got it 2 minutes before. Then I gave Tristan a message, and then that gave the time up at actually which time we came into the station. So it showed it was an hour. I've got evidence. I'm going to have to get evidence every time because cross country don't want to pay me. So I suddenly realised that just relaxing on a Sunday night. I think it's 5 hours difference from where you are. This is Steve. Well, I think that's Steve talking to Heather. Heather's over in the States, and I think the rest of us are all in the UK. Maybe have we got any more people from foreign parts? When I say foreign parts, foreign from us, overseas is what I should say. Whoops, hang on a minute. So I finally, got rescued by my son on that occasion. On Friday, I suddenly realised it was the last day to put in my claim. And I must do them quicker than that. So I put my claim in, and I had shenanigans even putting my claim in because I loaded it all up to the website. You have to load the tickets up. You have to say how many changes you had, and then it says, oh, I can't find that train. Of course they couldn't. I don't know. Anyway, you have to put in how many changes you have, and which they try and find that train, and the system didn't find the train, so I had to enter it all manually. Every bit I have to go look at all my documentation, and then I put what time I got on this train, what I wear, this one, that one, all the way through. And then you have to load your evidence, so you have to do a PDF of the ticket. So I managed to do all that. Fascinator. Sorry, did you say something about my fascinator? My fascinator was from a family wedding before. I've got a different fascinator for the next one. Just getting wedding ready. So I was loading it all up, and it took ages to load it all up. And then the system crashed and it went back to the beginning. So annoying it is. So I had to do it all again. But I got it in plenty of time. It wasn't like the one I was doing the day I arrived with Tristan, which was we were on the last day of the claim on that one, and we got it in at 1 minute to midnight on the last day that you could claim. I am known as Last Minute Lil, the late Mrs. Blackledge, always late. But anyway, oh, thank you, Tracy. I didn't see that. She was asking what it was called. Thank you, Tracy. Heather's somebody wanted to hear Heather's accent, and she said it's awfully plain compared to yours for sure. I could listen to Lynn's and your accent all day long. We don't think we've got accents, of course. It's so funny, you know. Anyway, we could do it, you know, because I could bring some of you in. I can bring guests into my live streams. I can split the screen. That's always better if it's the other way round, of course. But I could split the screen. You always get to your final destination, Lynn. Yes, but I didn't. Better late than never, Lynn. Well, on Monday, I was nearly in tears on Monday. But anyway, I'll fill in the rest of the other bits first. Before we get to, you know, what finally happened and how I finally got home and how I was a naughty girl because I was on the wrong train, not the train that was my ticket. Oh, we'll go there in a minute. Steve saying, I have the posh English accent, not the Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins Cockney accent. Yeah. I don't know what sort of accent you call mine. I'm not Cockney. So I'm not posh either, so I don't know. Somewhere in between. Anyway, so where was I getting to? No Place Fast, I think. So yes, so I finally did it again. I thought, right, I'm going to have another go. I'm not going to leave this till later in the day because if I do, I will lose this refund. And it was an hour's refund, and it was about £40, I think, that ticket. So, you know, it's worth having. Is it worth having? The other day I did one for a half ticket, half an hour late, and it was £16. You know, who wouldn't want £16 back in their bank account? You know, because they, you know, that's where it should be. Oh, Steve saying mine's an ordinary accent. Proper English. Oh, Tracy wonders if I've got my phone on auto rotate. Wonder if that's why. I bet you I have, Tracy, but I have not done that in the past, so I don't know why it's doing it. Maybe it is. Maybe it is on auto rotate, but I daren't touch and try and do anything with it now because I'll probably lose you all. So we'll stay this way. We'll stay this way this time, and I'll try it. I'll ask Tristan about it and see how it goes. Anyway, just actual English type of thing. Oh, there we go. Right. So, what was happening? Yes. So I got the. I put the refund in. Now, where are we? It's Sunday, isn't it? So I put it in on Friday, and almost straight away I had a thing back, like almost, you know, hardly any time later, saying unsuccessful claim. Pooh. No, it was not. Hello, Alfie. Alfie's saying hello. Call blimey, governor. Steve is doing the he's doing the accents from what am I forgetting? Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke, Cockney accent. Who rose his hair and the tortoise? Who won the race? Yes, the slow and steady wins the race. Well, I was slow and steady, and I wasn't winning the race. I wasn't winning anything. I was just getting more and more miserable. So anyway, so on Friday, I get this thing back, and it says, unsuccessful claim, your train was 1 minute late. Well, that's okay. The train was 1 minute late, but they weren't letting me on the train. So it's no good telling me it's 1 minute late when I wasn't even on it. So I thought, right, I'm not having this. He just waved at the screen. Excellent. And so what I did, I went back through my Google photographs and my Google videos, didn't I? And I found the video of me in the waiting room saying, look, my train's gone without me. And there were, all the comments on Facebook that I'd put up. So what a good job I documented things, because if I didn't, that would be the end of my refund. However, tonight I was on the phone to Passenger Assist because I've got another journey. I'm going back to my daughter's. And I said to him, he said, is there anything else I can help you with? And I said, yes, there is actually. I made a journey on the 24th of January. And do you have any documentation for that journey, way back then? Would it be possible to find out if it was logged anywhere that the passenger assistant didn't get me on the train? And it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault at all. But I wondered if they'd logged it anywhere. And so he did find it in the notes. It said, he didn't say that I wasn't on it. He said the train, so he saw it logged that the train was full. So there's documentary evidence there. There's also, I've got the video and some photographs, and so I'm not going without a fight. I want my £48 or whatever it was. I want it back. Sounds like the snail race. Absolutely. You don't know how you have the patience, Lynn, with the travel problems. Well, I like to go. Normally, I don't mind because I sort of see it all as a bit of fun and content for you lot, and you all love it when I get shenanigans. But I don't think you loved seeing me distressed on Monday. And if it hadn't been for that's right, I will tell them, Heather. I certainly will tell them, and I won't give up until they give me my refund. And so. I'm not going to give up easily. Cross country are easily the worst. Don't forget, I also had the fact that I had on 2 journeys on cross country. I've had suitcases coming off the luggage rack at the side. Now, on one of them, it just slid from the bottom shelf across. On the next one, it flew. It didn't hit me. I'm not going to say it hit me. I'm not going to make up stories. But it could have so easily hit me because it flew off the top rack, and it came down at the side of me here. It wasn't right that close. There was a little bit of a gap, but it was heading my way. And if the train had jolted any more that way, it would have hit me. And then, when the guard came through and I told him about it, and he said, it's rolling stock. The rolling stock is old. It's going to be all done by 2027. I said, yes, but you might have some dead passengers by 2027 if you don't do something about stopping the luggage falling off the rack. People don't think. Some people don't think, and they stand there. They're standing their suitcases up on wheels. They're wheelie suitcases on wheels on a luggage rack that hasn't got a front on it. So if the train tips that way, it's going to wheel off, isn't it? And if the train's going at speed, it's going to shoot it off like that. So that was not helpful. So I did tell the guard that wasn't, maybe they could put a note on asking people to lie their luggage down at least, but I still think it could fly, but not as badly. So it did come close. What's that? Richard saying, apparently our Midlands accent is the closest modern one to Tudor Warwickshire accent. Bill... William Shakespeare would have had. Right, okay. Right, there we go. Right, okay. When I saw your picture and stream, I was appalled that there weren't any stoppers for the luggage. Absolutely, yes, stoppers. That's a good word. I couldn't think of what. Yeah, nothing to go around it. It's just the edges of the luggage rack. So imagine an edge, a frame here and a frame there, but just a shelf open and a shelf open, and they're far too small for the size of carriage and the people who would have luggage. You don't stand a chance. And if there was more than one person who needed wheelchair space, well, you don't stand a chance on those. There's one space. And of course, on the first train, one of the first train that I did on the way to Cambridgeshire on cross country, there was a dog in the space initially, and I had to find the owner of the dog and ask them to move the dog so I could get in the space. It was a guide dog, but I didn't know where the person was with who should. And I don't know if it was a blind person or whether it was a handler of a dog. Anyway, eventually she replied and put the dog under the table where she was, further down the carriage, so I could actually get into the wheelchair space. On the second one, there was a pushchair in the wheelchair space, and the lady who owned the pushchair, I had to call out and say, "Oh, who owns this pushchair?" And the lady in front, in the seat in front, came round, and she took ages to close her, pushed it up so that I could get in the wheelchair space. I'm standing up. I don't have great mobility. I'm not supposed to stand still for long. My doctor told me not to stand for long. And I'm standing, waiting to get into the space. I can't sit on Navy Nora because my luggage is on Navy Nora. When I've put Navy Nora, my wheeled trolley, into the space, then I take the luggage off and sit on it. But if I had taken the luggage off early, there was nowhere to put it because the pushchair was in the way. And if I put it where I was standing, well, I couldn't because there was no space. But I was standing in the corridor, in the middle bit of the train, and if anybody wanted to come through while all this was going on, I would have been in the way. I would be in the way anyway, but then the luggage would be in the way. Oh my goodness! Yes, Steve saying it was a lost guide dog. Yeah, not a lot of good, was it? Anyway, so with the Cambridgeshire trip, that's the one that I didn't. They refused to pay the refund, and I couldn't initially find an email or a phone number or whatever, but my lovely community have now supplied me with the phone number and email. So I will be, when I finish the broadcast tonight, I will be sending an email so they've got it first thing Monday morning, and say, right, okay, look at the attached videos here, and I was late and I want my refund. And I will tell them. So that was that one. Right, a lost guide. Richard saying yes. Steve chasing toilet roll like the Andrex puppy in the Andrex advert. That's an advert in the UK for Andrex toilet paper, and they have this puppy. Absolutely. So anyway, let's go. I am going for it, Steve. Definitely. So anyway, let's go back to then Monday, the journey on Monday. So I will be fighting cross country for my money. And so I'm also now, it's a bit difficult to know whether to put a claim in. I am going to put a claim in for Monday, but I don't know what time I would have got back if I'd have been on the correct train. So what happens? I leave. My future daughter-in-law, she's driving me to the station. When I'm in the car, up comes an email saying my train. So I was going from that station where my family are to Birmingham New Street, and I'd booked it as a separate ticket because it was again one of those things. I could not get a ticket from the north to Portsmouth and Southsea without, even though I put in avoid London. Which bit of avoid London does the system not understand? And it kept wanting to send me to Euston and then on the tube to Waterloo and then back. So no, I'm not doing that. So I booked a train from first destination to New Birmingham New Street, and then I booked another one separate from Birmingham New Street down to Portsmouth and Southsea, which is where I wanted to cross the water because I live in Ryde, and if I come on the hoverport, through the hoverport, that gets me nearest to where I live. I did not want to come in at Cowes, which is the other side of the island. Well, it's not, it's further around the island. I would have had to get 2 buses back. I didn't because I have wonderful friends. But if I'd have come in at Cowes, as I did, I should have had to get on a bus from Cowes to Newport and another bus from Newport to home and then walk up the road. And I would be absolutely fit for nothing. Really screaming by that point, I would have been. So I do the first bit of the journey. And thank you, Richard. You've been amazing. So Richard is really marvellous because on this, Richard was a bit of a saviour to me, or a lot of a saviour to me, because on this train, so I've got to Birmingham New Street, and when Shenanigans getting off the train, I'm about to get off the train, and a passenger said to me, "Would you like some help getting off the train?" And I said, "Oh no, it's all right. I've got passenger assist. There'll be somebody there with a ramp in a minute." I must stop jinxing these things. But it wasn't the passenger assist's fault. And I'll tell you why. So this passenger was still watching out for me even when he got off the train. And then he could see there was no passenger assistant there. So he turned around again and I said, "Perhaps you will help me off the train." So he lifted Navy Nora and my luggage down. But of course, I like the ramp to go down with Navy Nora, but also because the steps on the train are sometimes very big. And my little legs don't work like that anymore. They don't do big steps. And so anyway, people helped me. They took my arm, they helped me down. And I got onto the platform. At which point, and there were a lot of people on the platform. It was Friday, wasn't? No, it was Monday. It was rush hour time. There were a lot of people down there, and it was very busy. Oh yes, Birmingham New Street's going to be busy, I think, most of the time anyway. So it was busy. And then I saw a lady coming with a ramp, and what had happened, she'd had the wrong information, and she was at the disabled space right at the other end of the train, which is why she wasn't here when I needed to get off. So that's why there was an issue. Anyway, she takes me across to passenger assist lounge, which is a really nice lounge. It's got a nice big lounge at Birmingham New Street. I'm getting to know it very well. And so we come to the passenger assist desk, and there's two people behind the desk sorting people out. So there's a lady there and there's a man here. This man is attending to a man who was in front of me. So I wait my turn here and he's sorting him out. And when he's still sorting him out, when this lady gets off the phone or has finished what she's doing. So I go there to see if she will help me. "Oh, no, I can't help you because I've got something else to do." So I go back behind this guy, wait for him to finish. He finishes, and what happened? So there's the desk is like this. So I'm in front of the desk, but there's a side bit there. So and there's the entrance to the passenger assist lounge. So one of their colleagues, one of the passenger assist guys, comes in at the side and pushes in front of me and well, he didn't have to push in front of me because I'm standing here. So he came into the desk at the side like this. So he then engaging the guy with what he wanted. And I thought, "Excuse me, have I got my invisibility cloak on?" I didn't say that. I usually do when somebody does that. Say, oh, am I wearing my invisibility cloak today? Anyway, I didn't. I waited. So my train came in at 12:33. And the next train I should have been on was 1:33. Plenty of time, I thought, sort myself out. That's what it was going to be, sort myself out, go and get some nice nibble bits from Marks and Spencer's within the station, that sort of thing. No, it wasn't going to happen. Shenanigans going on. I need to find out what I'm doing, where I'm going, what train I'm getting on. So eventually this guy's finished chatting. So then I get the guy talking to me. Now it is just about 5:01. And he says, "Oh, we'll get you on the 3 minutes past." Right, that's 8 minutes. I am in the passenger lounge. I need information about where I'm going, but I don't have time to get information where I'm going because they have to find somebody who will now assist me across the station and wherever we go, and it's a big station. And there's always a lot of walking to do. So on those days, my body magic for Slimming World is easily taken care of when I'm doing my train journeys, because I'm supposed to do, for my bronze award, I think I'm supposed to do at least 5 minutes walking a day. Well, it's way beyond that. So anyway, so they take me and they do get me on a train. So I'm now on a train. And the original train, I'm supposed to get off at Reading. I have no information now. I have no information about what I'm doing because I didn't have time to ask at the desk. So I'm on the train. I thought, right, I better find out whether I'm still going to change at Reading or what I'm supposed to do. So I ring passenger assist. Oh, bad signal. Can't get through. Yes, it was very rude, Steve, that person pushing in front of me. So, wait a minute. Yes, Heather's saying thank you so much, Richard, for rescuing our dear Lynn. Not only Richard, but Kath, and as Richard's saying, Kath and John also helped me out, and you'll find out. And so did a couple on the train. You know, there's some really nice people about. Carol's saying she nearly didn't get off her station as someone put their heavy luggage on top of your small case. By the time I managed with help get it, the train was about to leave. I was panicking, but the guard let me off, but told me off and said I had 3 minutes to get off and should get up earlier. I was nearly in tears. Then Carol, report it. It is not okay. And Carol, book passenger assist. Because, you know, get yourself passenger assist, because they will help you. Most of the time it's seamless with passenger assist. Most of the time it's been brilliant. But of course, some of the stuff that's happened to me wasn't the passenger assist thing. It was because, you know, I couldn't get on. The guard said I couldn't get on a train. That wasn't the passenger assist fault. So try and book passenger assist, because I heard of somebody where they didn't turn up and get her off the train and she ended up somewhere else. But no, you don't want to be in tears. You need it. You need to tell. Do you need to tell them? Yes, Steve's saying it's nice to know that there are still some nice people in the world, and there are, and you know, and I am lucky, and I'm very lucky most of the time. So anyway, as I say, I'm ringing passenger assist. I've got quite a long while to go before we get to Reading. So I don't get through. I get through, and then the passenger, the assistant people can't hear me. All I wanted to know now was, am I getting off at Reading? Will they alert the people at Reading that I'm on this train or whatever? So that's what, yes. So, I mean, I may forget some of this because there was so much going on. And so that's right. Anyway, I couldn't get through. So there's a very nice looking couple just across. There's the luggage rack next to me. And in front of the luggage rack was this nice looking couple. Well, you know, you can tell, can't you? Some people look very nice. And I took a risk and spoke to them. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see you in the house. We're on about Lynn Shenanigans on Monday, the journey from hell. Anyway, I asked them, because they were talking about, I didn't know where the train was ending up. You see, I didn't know its final destination, and I heard them say something, and I thought they said Portsmouth, but there was a lot of noise on the train. I thought, if it's Portsmouth, I'll stay on, because, you know, that's getting me nearly home. So anyway, I wasn't sure it was Portsmouth, and so I asked the people over there. I said, oh. And I engaged the lady in conversation. She was doing some lovely crochet, and I was admiring her. She'd got, it's something I must do. She'd got a ball of wool, because when I do my knitting on the train, my balls of wool fall all over the place and end up on the floor. She'd got a little bag with her wool in, and she'd got some sort of strap. So it was strapped on her wrist. So she was doing her crochet and the wool was coming up like that. So I'm going to have to do something like that, because that would be really good. So anyway, I was chatting with her about that. And then I said, oh, do you know where this train is going? And they didn't. They knew it was going to Basingstoke because they were getting off at Basingstoke, but they didn't know its final destination. So then he starts trying to find it on his phone, but he can't get a signal either. So he can't tell me where the train is going. And it was Richard in the end. So I tried passenger assist again and said, you know, and managed, late to the party. It doesn't matter, Debs. This is all about the shenanigans of Monday and my terrible journey. So I'm on to a passenger assist again. I get through again, and then they can't hear me. So I still don't know where I'm going on this train, or what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my journey. You know, I thought transference maybe they could do. Anyway, I didn't know. We're getting, you know, further and further south, and I don't know if I'm getting off the train at Reading. But eventually, I realised I saw something up the top, and it said it was going to stop at Southampton. And I thought, oh, if we get to Southampton, I can wave to the Isle of Wight from there. At least that's nearly, you know, on the way. It wasn't going to Portsmouth. It was going to Bournemouth, Well, if I hadn't got off the train, I'd have ended up seeing my sister because she lives in Bournemouth. But I didn't want to go and see my sister that day. I wanted to go home. It was a long journey. I was tired. I'd been in the north for a hen do. We didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night going into Sunday. I was tired from that. And then, of course, I live streamed for you lovely people on Sunday night. And this was Monday morning. So I was still very tired from a lovely weekend. Anyway, so in the end, I messaged Richard because I know Richard knows a lot about the trains, and I know that he could look things up if I could get a signal to Richard. So I messaged him, and he fortunately he connected with me, and I said, "This is the train I got on at this time. Can you tell me where the train is actually going? And then I need to know what I'm supposed to do." So anyway. So Richard was able to find out that my train was going to. I think I don't know whether he told me or whether the other people told me. Somebody told me I was going to Bournemouth, but anyway, so at least I knew what train I was on. So let's have a look. Oh, okay. Yes, Andrew, Richard is a great help. When I was a damsel in distress, and I was so thrilled with his help. Far more than I was with anybody to do with any railways. So Richard, at this point, so I'm still thinking, do I need to get off of Reading? That's where I should have changed if I'd been on the original train that wasn't cancelled. 2 parts of the train were cancelled anyway. It wasn't just if I'd got off at Reading, another bit of the journey was cancelled. And then Richard told me that some of the things were on rail replacement. And I said, but I don't do rail replacement because, again, that's very difficult for me with my Navy Nora, my luggage and my disability. It was difficult. So anyway, a member of staff came through the train and was collecting the rubbish. So I said, "Oh, do you know where the guard is?" And he said, "Yes, he's down there." So I said, "Are you going back that way?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, when you go down there, can you tell him there's a passenger here who needs assistance? I need help. Can he come and see me?" Well, the message, I wondered whether the message had actually got through or whether the guy had forgotten. But no, the message did get through. And when did the guard arrive at my side? At Reading, where he was getting off the train, and he said, "There's another guard getting on. He'll help you." Well, what I needed to say was, do I need to get off here? But he was gone. He was gone. And so I thought, well, I'd looked to see if the passenger assist person was there. And there was a passenger assist guy that I recognised from Reading in the past. Not the friendliest of guys. Most of the people I get are lovely. But he was a bit bar humbug, this guy. And I said, "Oh, are you here to help me off?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm not getting you off. You're supposed to be on a different train." Because they know my name from, and seen it. I said, "Yeah, but I couldn't be on a different train. I couldn't be on the other one because," anyway, he wasn't going to help me. So I thought, right, well, do I get off or don't I get off? So I didn't get off because I knew the train was going. I didn't know what would happen if I got off and whether I would be stranded in Reading for the rest of the night. So I stayed on the train because I knew it was going to Southampton. And I thought, well, from there, I probably can get across to Portsmouth somehow. So anyway, of course, that first bit of the journey, the guard never came through, never asked for our tickets or anything. Of course, the new guard gets on. He comes through. He wants to see our tickets. That's okay. "Madam, you're travelling on the wrong ticket. You're not supposed to be on this train." At which point I said, "Well, I'm not paying any more." I said, "because this has just been awful." Anyway, so I said to him, "I'm trying to get to the Isle of Wight via Portsmouth and Southsea." So he said about the buses on, the rail replacement bus. And I said, "But I can't do that." And he said, "Probably if you were on the right train," and this wasn't him having a go. He was only trying to help me. So he said, "If you were on the correct train, they probably would have put you in a taxi. They would have paid for a taxi to send me round on the rail replacement, on the bus replacement. I would have done taxi replacement. But of course, I wasn't on the right train, so they're not going to pay, are they?" But he was only giving me information. He wasn't being horrible. So I said, well, now what's the solution? So I left it with him. Then he disappeared. Of course, I didn't see him for a long time after that. But by this time, Richard had sent me a message saying I should get a ticket, an easy evening ticket, and I should get the ticket book it from Southampton Parkway, I think the station was, the one before Southampton Central. And so book a ticket from there through to Cowes. So that included going from Southampton Parkway to Southampton, getting out of the train, getting the bus that's just outside, which I didn't know there was a bus that went from there to the Red Jet. I know there is at Portsmouth, but why I never thought about it. So I thought, all right, that's brilliant, but it's going to cost me more. I'm going to have to buy another ticket. But by this time, I was prepared to pay £17.80 to get home. You know, I was so cheesed off. I was nearly in tears. It wasn't, if I'd had information all the way through, it wouldn't have bothered me. I think it was the lack of information and nobody, well, not nobody seeming to care, because there were caring people, but they weren't the ones in control. Hello, Sam. Sam to see. You were really happy on the 14th of February. Excellent. I don't know why, but you'll tell us, I'm sure. Bob is coming in from Australia. Hello, Bob. Nice to see you. You've been in before. Sydney, Australia. Good day, says Steve, who's coming in from the UK. So excellent. So by the time I'd sort of got myself together and taken on board what Richard was telling me, I was conscious that we were nearly at Southampton Parkway, and I needed to gather up my bits because I'd had my knitting out and bits, and I have to get all my bags back onto my trolley and get myself sorted, ready, so that they don't say, hey, you're not ready and we're not going to get you off the train because you're not ready. So I was conscious of that. So I was getting that ready. By the time I'd done that, we were already at Southampton. I think we were just going through Southampton Parkway. So I thought, oh, well, I'll have to do this when I get off the train, you know. So I could do it on my app. I could get the ticket like that. So anyway, your friend Jean came back to the day centre. Excellent, Sam. So you met up with your friend. That was lovely. So I decided, so passenger assist was there to get me off the train. That was wonderful. And they helped me. This guy helped me off. And I said, well, I need to buy a ticket. Now, what I should have done was do it on my phone. If only I knew then what I know now, I would have stood there, done it on the train. I done it on, you know, at that point, and then gone outside to catch the bus to the Red Jet. But I didn't. I said, oh, I'll go and buy it from the ticket office to make sure I was doing exactly the right thing. Well, it wasn't exactly the right thing, because first of all, the ticket office was on the other side of the tracks. So we had to go up in a lift, along the bridge link, down in a lift to the ticket office. And so I went to the ticket office and I said, oh, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to get this ticket. And he was a bit confused, the guy behind the counter. So he went and got an assistant. And the assistant, or his colleague came, and I think he was more senior than him. And he said, I can't really sell you a ticket, that ticket, because I should have been further away from Southampton to buy that ticket. So I said, oh, well, I can probably do it on my phone, because they won't know where I am when I buy the ticket. I could be anywhere. I could be going to Southampton Parkway to get the ticket, you know, to come this way. So so nice. It looks lovely. Where did you? I can't remember where I got it from. I had it for a wedding years ago for my nephew. I've got a family wedding coming up. This is not the fascinator I'm going to wear, but I thought I'd just get a bit wedding ready and just wear it to get in the mood for a wedding coming up soon. But it is beautiful. I did wear it back then, and I forgot why I had it, and I had to go back through my photographs to find out when I wore it all those years ago. Anyway, it's there for another one, but it doesn't happen to match the outfit that I'm going to wear this time. So anyway, where are we? Yes, so I'm at the ticket office, and he says, I can't really sell you that ticket. You're quite welcome, Bob. I can't sell you that ticket, really. But he said, I'm going to override the system. So he sold me that ticket, and he gave me a paper receipt and one piece of ticket. Now that's important because even more shenanigans around the ticket. All right, so I have got a piece of paper, that's a receipt, and a ticket for the well, it would have been a train ticket for that bit of journey that I'd already got a train ticket for, that I was already on the train, and then for the Red Jet to get across the water to the Isle of Wight. So that's what I should have done. Anyway, I was conscious that I've got these bits of paper in my hands. So I thought, no, I must tuck them away, because you might remember that on one of my journeys, I dropped my ticket and I was on the train, and the passenger assist guy saw it on the ground and the train hadn't left. And he said, can somebody explain shenanigans to Bob? What shenanigans means? It's all a palaver, a lot of goings on, but somebody will explain it better, Bob, I'm sure. I bet Richard will be able to explain it, or somebody will, maybe Steve or whatever. So I am conscious not to lose this ticket, because, I had dropped one previously, and fortunately the passenger assist guy had seen it, picked it up and said, is this your ticket? And I was already on the train. And of course, that would have been a time when the guard came through and wanted to see the ticket. I try to do them digitally, but sometimes I forget to make sure it's ticked digitally when I do the tick. Not anymore. I've made that mistake too many times, and now I remember to always look and see if it's going to be a digital ticket. So dramas and things. That's right. Shenanigans means problems, dramas and things. Absolutely. Things going wrong. Thank you. Thank you, Steve, for sorting that one out. Anyway, so I'm conscious of these bits of paper. So I must have been on autopilot with these bits of paper, this bit of paper, this ticket. So I put them away, and then I asked somebody, oh, no. So don't forget, I am now the wrong side of the tracks, because the bus for the Red Jet is where I got off the train, that side. So again, up, along the platform we go, up in the lift, along the bridge link, down in the lift, and outside. Unfortunately, the bus is only just outside the station, and then it goes right round to where the Red Jet is. So I'm not sure. I'm asking people, making sure that I'm standing at the right place, in case the bus comes and I'm standing in the wrong place. So somebody else was going to the Isle of Wight, and she said, yes, you're in the right place. So that was good. Right. So then the bus comes, but it doesn't stop at the bus stop, because there's already a bus stop there. So it stops right back there. So we go over there and get on the bus, and then he asked for my ticket. So I give him what I think is my ticket. I pull out the piece of paper and a ticket out of my purse, and he says, this isn't your ticket. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? Have they sold me the wrong ticket? And I thought, no, they can't have done. He said, well, the bus is not going for 10 minutes. He said, so go and sit down and sort yourself out. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's happened now? So, of course, I'm in a bit of a panic, and because if you've watched me before, you'll know that I've had some shenanigans with not having an e-ticket, and I didn't realise I wasn't booking an e-ticket, and I got a ticket that I had to get out of a machine, and I was going on the hover, and there's no ticket machine at the hover. This was a previous time. So I had to get my taxi to take me to the train station, wait for me while I ran in and got my tickets out of the machine, got back in the taxi, went all the way round to the hoverport, and then went there. So we had that shenanigans already. Some of those tickets I needed to keep, because some of those tickets were the evidence of my train journeys when I needed to get the refunds. So I had all these tickets in there. So I was looking, and I went through every one of them. And the ticket that I had tried to give him was one to the station where my daughter lives. And I thought, well, that can't be the right ticket. That will be an old ticket. And I thought, well, what have I done with the ticket? Anyway, in my nice new handbag, the one that's supposed to make life easy for me, remember, the one I showed you the other day, that has a pocket for my radar key for the toilet, a pocket for my phone, and other pockets. I had put my ticket in there safe and sound, but forgot that I'd put it in there safe and sound. Oh boy, was I glad to see that. And I looked at all these other tickets, and they were all old tickets. So now I have removed all the old tickets from my purse, They're over there, ready to check to see whether I've got. I don't think I've got any claims on those. I think I've done the claims from those now, and then they can go, because I don't want to be muddled up with tickets like that. Because otherwise, if that bus had been going straight away, he would have charged me more money, yet more money. No, it's not a bum bag, Bob. It's a bag. I have got a wheeled trolley that helps me as a wheeled walker. And I had a tiny little bag, and I was having shenanigans getting everything in and out of the bag. So I bought this the other day, and it goes over the strap of my walker. And it's dead easy for me to get things out. That's all right if I know the things are in there. It's an anti-shenanigans bag, but it isn't, Steve, because it made more shenanigans, didn't it? But have a look. It's got pockets in the end. And my daughter said, oh, look, Mum, you can put a drink in there. I hadn't noticed this when I bought it. But, of course, we didn't have any bottles that would go in there. So yesterday on my travels, so there's a pocket that side and a pocket that side. And now, look, so I bought two little, I tried them in the shop before I bought them. I have two of these little bottles. So you can see they're brand new because they still got they still got their labels on them. Can you send me the link to get the bum bag? Bob, it was in a shop. It was in a shop in an outlet centre. It was in a paver's shop. So I don't know. I didn't buy it online. I bought it in a shop. And I don't know. I'll see if I can find a link to the shop, but I'm not sure whether they do service online. So, yes, I've got bigger bottles like this, Steve, but they wouldn't go in that little pocket. The pocket was tiny. There we are. So it's good, isn't it, now? So I can have water maybe in one and juice in the other or something like that. Whatever. No alcohol. Maybe I should. Then I wouldn't know what was happening to me. Maybe I'd get to my destinations better if I got drunk. I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, so that was part of my shopping yesterday. I had a whole day in town yesterday, and I'll tell you about that as well. Let's see. So we haven't finished Monday yet. So finally, I got on the. I was on the bus. I found the ticket. I gave it to the guy long before the bus departed, and then we got over to the Red Jet. Now the Red Jet and the car ferry are very near each other at Southampton, and I remembered. Well, I knew that Kath and John were coming to the island, partly to see me and partly to go and do other things on the island. They've just moved off the island, but they had quite a few ferry tickets still left. They bought a book of ferry tickets, so they needed using up or they were just going to waste. So they thought, well, as I was going to be on the island, they would come and see me. So I thought, oh, I wonder if they're crossing at Southampton. Wouldn't it be fantastic if they were going across on the car ferry and I could go with them and come home? Anyway, they were already, I messaged them, they were already on the island, but they said, I told them what had happened. They said they would come and pick me up. Oh, was I so grateful to see them. Grateful to Richard for sorting out what I was going to do. Oh, so before I got off the train, the guard came to me and he said, oh, we think we might have a solution about getting you to Portsmouth. I said, don't worry. I said, my friends solved it for me. I'm going to go on the Red Jet. So he said, oh, if you're sure that's okay. So I don't know what time I would have got to the island, but I'm going to put in a claim. Because I think that's fair, don't you? Because of all the shenanigans I had, if I had gone that route and I'd got off and I'd had to do replacement buses, replacement vehicle and all that, I probably would have been late to the island. And so I'm going to put in the claim. You're going to see Jean tomorrow. That's lovely, Sam. I know that's your good friend. No one. Wine in the other and gin in the wine and gin in the other. You're going to say water in one and whiskey in the other, maybe. And Bob's saying it's too small. They are small. They are small, but at least when I'm travelling, that can be an easy find. I could actually probably have a can of drink in my bag, but often if I've got a can of drink in my bag, I've got to go ferrying through my bag. So if I was really thirsty, I could have these, and then I could find the other one if I needed it. So I'm quite happy with those, and I bought those in Hearst. We got a lovely independent. It's sort of it's a hardware store, what you'd call a hardware store. So it sells all sorts of things. It sells screws and ladders, and then it sells washing up bowls, and it sells cooking utensils and all sorts of things, and bottles. And I was thrilled. I didn't know that this made them as small as this. I've got the next size up from this, and I didn't know there was a little one. And these are good because the lid doesn't come, well, the lid will come off, but when you want to drink it, you've only just got to twist it a bit. And these, I have a trouble with this hand, a weakness, but these seem to be quite easy to do. When I was on the train and that lovely couple were looking up to see where the train was going, I couldn't open. I had a drink of Diet Coke, and I couldn't get the lid open. It was just couldn't get the strength, and so they opened it for me. So anyway, let me take this off. I am getting roasty, toasty warm, too toasty warm now. Let's take that off. Let's put that over there. Getting really roasty. Oh, and by the way, actually, I don't know that my hair is doing very well, but I had, whoa. Can you see? I had colour put in my hair. It's not the best. I dried my hair and it went all sticky up because I wasn't watching in the mirror. And but I had my hair coloured, wedding ready. I thought I'd have a bit of highlights put in, and my lovely hairdresser came to me on Wednesday. So that was Wednesday. We didn't finish Monday yet, did we? So let's finish Monday off because it was a day I didn't want to repeat. So Monday. What was it? Monday. Sorry, I just had a mental block there. Monday. So when I messaged, so the trip across the water on the Red Jet is about 20 to 25 minutes. On the Hover coming the other way, it's 10 minutes. So anyway, I messaged Kath, and she said they had just ordered a meal. They were at Fishbourne, and they just ordered a meal, but they would come over to Cowes as soon as they could. Now, Cowes, Fishbourne to Cowes, probably 15-20 minutes possibly from where they were to where I was coming in. But I was messaging them as I was sitting on the Red Jet before it left, and it was a 20-minute ride across the water, so I knew pretty much that we were going to arrive at the same time. So anyway, I actually got onto the island first, and then I just sat in the waiting room, and I don't think I even waited 5 minutes, and there they were. And was I pleased to see them? Oh my goodness, I was at that point I'd been nearly in tears. I don't do tears that easily, you know, those sort of things. It's shenanigans. It's usually fun. I make it into a lot of fun to entertain all of you. But it was the lack of information and the, you know, the rudeness of people pushing in or not, you know, not helping me. The guy who said, no, well, you're not supposed to be on this train. I'm not getting you off. The guy who pushed in the queue, you know, the guard not wanting to help me because he was getting off and said the next guard. There was lack of lack of something, and it made me, I was nearly in tears. Anyway, the point being, Kath and John turned up because I had a couple of minutes to wait. That was really good because it meant all the other people collecting had moved, and they could drive straight in because there's not a lot of space for people to wait, and so it's quite good because all the other people picking up their passengers had gone, and they could come right to the front where I was. So that was great. Hearst is the name of a shop, Bob. Hearst is a hardware shop. And somebody's noticed my nails. Well done, my hairstyle. My hairstylist, I've had her for years. She comes to my house. I don't have to go anywhere. It's wonderful, and she fits me in. We're very flexible with each other. About if she needs to come a bit late, I usually say, "Oh, that doesn't matter," you know. And we've known each other for years, so she comes, and we always build in a half-hour chat as well, because we like to have a coffee together. Right, hang on. Yes, I don't want to talk about. Sorry, Bob, I'm not going to talk about Donald Trump. He's not my favourite person. But I didn't mean to be rude. I'm just saying, yes, I had heard, but actually not something that warms my heart very much. And I expect lots of people on here feel the same. I don't know. You might not. You might all be Donald Trump fans, but anyway, I am certainly not. Steve is off in 15 minutes. Hope I don't have Travis Shenanigans in your little window cleaner mobile. I hope you don't. I hope you get home safely. Mobile or mobile. Sorry, I don't know what that refers to. Mobile. I don't know what. Sorry, buggy. Probably midnight, Lynn. When I would have got home. Yes, who knew? Heather loves my hair. It looks really good, and your nails are beautiful too. Yeah, well, that's Saturday. We'll jump to Saturday in a minute. Because so Monday night I was in there in Kath and John's car. That was amazing. They've got warm heated seats and heated back, and suddenly all those tears and all that frustration lifted. It flew out of me. I sat in that seat and they drove me home. They came in with me at my house. They put the kettle on in my kitchen for me and Kath made me a drink, you know. They look after me so well. They are such good friends. I met them on my live streams. They lived on the island and they started watching my live streams. And we've become very good friends and we see each other a lot, which is lovely. And so, I was so pleased to see them. They didn't stay very long because I think I needed to sort of, wind down and go to bed, I think. But it was just so wonderful. So brilliant. Wish we had a good shop up here. We have more than one hearse. So the phrase is try hearse first. That's their strap line. And so I did try hearse first, and I got what I wanted. And they have a shop in Ryde, which is where I went on Saturday because I live in Ryde. They have a shop in Ventnor. They have a shop in Newport. They have a shop in Cowes. I think it's just 4. I'm not sure. Like Richard will tell me if I've got it wrong. He probably knows more about the island than I do. Glad you finally got home. Okay, Lynn says, Steve, you must have been exhausted and so relieved. I was exhausted and I was relieved. And then on Tuesday, Kath and John had planned to come over and see me because we wanted to catch up, and John comes with his toolkit. When they live, they've come to visit the island, but he still came with his toolkit because he's a man who can. And of course, I live on my own, and there are a lot of things I can put the furniture together, all this sort of stuff. But I get stuck with a few things, and John has done loads of things, like he puts the clocks on the wall, or then he gets them down when they stop, and changes the time on them and all those sort of things because I don't do climbing. What time did I get home on Monday? I think it was between 6 and 7, Carol. I think it was about then. Right. So Tracy's. I had sent message to Tracy, hoping to catch up with her this week, but it didn't happen. I didn't know whether you didn't get the message, Tracy, or not. But apparently Tracy has been sick. So I am going to be back again very soon, Tracy. I'll message you and let's see if we can make it happen next time. It would be good to catch up. Right. Oh, Bob is saying that is okay. He is not nice. He's talking about Donald Trump. Okie dokie. You're going on vacation to the Isle of Wight in the UK next week. Really? Are you really going to, or are you just in your head, Bob? I mean, when Hazel came from Australia, we did a meetup with lots of the Go Live Granny community, and we met in the Better Days Cafe in Ventnor, and Hazel joined us, and then Patricia was there, Pauline was there, Kath couldn't make it, Yvonne was there. Trying to think who else was there on that occasion. So Hazel was due to come over to the UK, but her she got kiboshed. Her travel plans went out the window because we went into lockdown. So obviously nobody was coming to the UK. There was no travelling. So she then deferred it. And then when she rearranged her trip, we made sure that we could get to see her. And so that was lovely. So this time I wanted to catch up with Yvonne and Pauline, and Pauline is in Ventnor as well, and Patricia lives not far away. So I messaged them, and Kath and John were going to take me to Ventnor this time, so I didn't even have to go on the bus because it's quite a long journey to Ventnor from Ryde, and it's 2 buses I have to get. Anyway, on the day, so that was Thursday, and on the day, sadly, Yvonne messaged me and she'd had an asthma attack and wasn't able to join us. So hopefully I think she's on the mend. I've messaged her since. But Patricia was there, and look what Patricia's done. This is a bag of 60 smoothie hats. There we go, 60 smoothie hats. And I haven't opened them up and I haven't counted them, but lots of lovely ones. There's shiny ones. Let's open them up and take 1 or 2 out to show you. There's a nice orange one with a lot. So these are smoothie hats, and they go on the Innocent smoothie bottles once a year, and then they get sold. The drinks get sold for 30p extra, and all those 30p's for the hats go into Age UK. And if we do lots of hats on the Isle of Wight, and we have a minimum, so the Age UK is a national charity, and then there are lots of individual charities. So Tracy works in Age UK shop, and I think remind me, Tracy, do the shop hats count as I know you give me the hats from there, so they must count for the Isle of Wight charity. I know that most of the Age UK shops, if you give them at the shops, they all go off to the national charity to be used on the mainland. Of course, Age UK Isle of Wight is its own charity, and if we keep the money on the island, if we give them in there, the money gets kept on the island to be used for the elderly folk here on the island, of which I'm one, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I was doing it before I was that age. So they do. Tracy's saying yes, they do. So that money comes to us, doesn't it? I think it's the only Age UK shop on the island that keeps the money on the island, isn't it? I think that's right. I'm getting a bit tired. So anyway, so look at that. 60 smoothie hats she did, and she gave them to me. You've been lately watching all of my carnival videos, and how do not do them in. No, I haven't done them in ages, Bob. So Bob is talking about my carnival videos. Now, when I first started doing live streaming, back in 2016, the idea was to promote the Isle of Wight, because Visit Isle of Wight, which is our marketing department, but it's a very corrupt organisation, got in very corruptly by not giving people ballot papers and by making it look like junk mail, and people didn't have information. Don't even get me started on that one. That's another issue altogether. But they don't market the island very well. They don't show off they don't use YouTube to show off the island. And so my son taught me how to do it, because I was so frustrated. So he took me out, showed me how to do it, gave me an Isle of Wight .live page to promote the island as well. So there's a YouTube channel. There's not a huge amount on the YouTube channel, because these days I do more on my Go Live Granny page. I decided to combine a lot of stuff there. But of course, we were doing all that, and then we had COVID and lockdown, and we didn't have any carnivals because we couldn't go out. And so there were no carnivals. And then when the carnivals restarted, I was doing some of them, but don't forget, I'm getting older and older. I am going to be 75 this year. And, I have to go on the bus to get to the places. And I did have some lovely people who used to give me lifts sometimes. That was really nice. But it did take it out of me rather a lot, because you have to go, then you have to wait around, and then you have to go and get a good position, and then so you have to do that early, and then you might wait, and then the buses don't get back on. you know, they don't start again till well after the carnival's finished, because they have to open all the streets again because they close the streets off. So it's not just going and live streaming and then going home. It wasn't as easy as that. And then the more, as the years went on, more and more people were using video, you know, using the signal, and so I couldn't even get a good signal for the live streams in the later years. And so then I used to video it and then put it up on YouTube afterwards. But it's so nice when you're doing it as a live stream, because you can do the running commentary. So hello, Kath. Kath's just coming in. Oh, Kath, I've just been singing your praises because I was telling everybody about Monday. And I could do it this year, but you know what, Bob? I don't. I tell you why I don't. Lots of other people now live stream and video the carnivals. And because I'm get very tired and, you know, I'm getting that much older, I decide that rather than go out and do it, which really, you know, it knocks the stuffing out of me a bit, rather than do it, I actually share other people's videos and live streams now. So we've got, you know, we've got different organisations who do, who record the whole thing. And so why wouldn't I go out and share it? When I first started doing it, people used to say to me, oh, thank you so much. My mum loves watching the carnivals, but she can't get out and see it anymore. But because you do it, she can watch it from home. And, you know, now I'm one of those people who want to watch it from home and let other people do the hard work. And also sometimes it's raining and it's cold and miserable. And of course, I had pneumonia and I was very, very ill. And I don't want to be out there in the cold and the rain doing that anymore. Once upon a time, I didn't care. Before I had pneumonia, I didn't care if I got wet or cold. But these days, I've got a bit of self-preservation, a lot of self-preservation. So that's why I'm not doing it. Anyway, so folks, we got as far. I told you Monday, I told you Tuesday. So Tuesday, Kath and John came over. John I told you he came with his toolbox, and on my kitchen IKEA unit, there were some teensy little handles, and I find it very hard to grab hold of a little handle these days, especially since I've got acrylic nails, and that was really hard. So John has now, it's like my dream came true. I wanted new handles on my, I'm quite easy to please. I don't want all these fancy things. I just wanted handles on my kitchen drawer, and John has put handles, so he's put a handle like that so I can just put my hand in and pull it. Because they're IKEA, they slide, they're on sliders, so I can so easily open the drawers now. It's wonderful. And every time I open that drawer, I will think of Kath and John. It's just so helpful. Tracy's saying, oh no, someone mentioned the carnival. I actually watched the video of us on the carnival, Laurie, in your garden the other night. Right, so Tracy and I have been promising Tracy a gold star for a long time. And it goes back to carnival days. Let me just have a swig. Was it 2018 or 2019? I can't remember. But I had been live streaming. I'd live streamed carnivals 2016, 2017, all the carnivals, and there are lots across the island. So we have them, Newport, Cows, East Cows are having one now. They're doing one, but they haven't done one for a long time. But this year they're going to do one. That's where Tracy is, East Cows. Where else do they do them? Ryde, Sandown, Shanklin. I was forgetting. So I would do every weekend. I was out doing carnivals, and they have a children's carnival, they have a main carnival, and they had an illuminated carnival. So each of those places had 3 carnivals, and that's an awful lot. Can you post the Laurie in the garden video sometime? I would love to watch it. Oh, Tracy, yes, I think it was 2018. Can you find the link, Tracy? Kath hasn't seen that one, and she'd love to watch it. But anyway, Tracy's saying, "Oh no, someone mentioned the carnival." There is a standing joke. I mean, I as I say, I promised this gold star way back to Tracy. I think she needs a whole galaxy of gold stars for what she did. So I think in 2008 we decided that we would have a Go Live Granny lorry float. So rather than actually, hello, Fresnel Park Lifestyle, nice to see you in. Debs is saying, oh, thank you, Tracy. Tracy's going to put the link in. Debs is saying, hello, Kath and John. Missed you and Lynn when I popped over and met Tristan. That's right. So when I went to see Tristan, my son, recently, Kath and John were in that part of the world, and we met up with Debs, and we had a link up there. So this week, Debs, I met up. Kath and John are on the island, and they took me over to Ventnor, and we met up with Pauline and Patricia, and we were hoping to meet up with Yvonne, but sadly she had an asthma attack. But I think she's on the mend. I have messaged her since. And last time we did that was after COVID. And Hazel from Australia had planned, I said this earlier, but you weren't in the broadcast. Hazel had planned to come and see us. You know, because she became part of our community, she said she couldn't come to the UK without coming to the Isle of Wight. So she came to the Isle of Wight, and we made sure we had a meet and greet with them. And that was wonderful. And so that was amazing. And then so this week, we had a meet up. You know, Kath and John took me over to Ventnor, and we met up over there again. So that was nice. Church Brother David Redding added you to, and that's right. So Ailey knew my brother David, and David added Ailey into. He obviously linked her up to our videos. He sent her the link of the carnival lorry in the garden. So that year, 2018, we decided we'd have a Go Live Granny Carnival float. So it was very purple and very sparkly, and it was lent to us by somebody local here, and we were very grateful. So we decorated it up at the lorry owners in his garden. We decorated it, so we put it into the main carnival on the Thursday, and then we entered it again in the Ride Illuminated Carnival on the Saturday. So we went and decorated it at his house, and Tracy was. So Tracy, were you at both venues? I'm sure you were at both venues, weren't you? You were up at when we first decorated it. I know she was certainly here with all the stuff that went on in my front garden. So it was very purpley, and people contributed. People sent knitting things. We had knitted stuff all over it. We'll drop the link in. I'll put the link on the Go Live Granny page. I'll put it in the Go Live Granny community as well, so that we can, or somebody can drop the link there. And it was wonderful. But of course, it was far more difficult. I couldn't live stream the carnival itself because I was on a lorry. So I live streamed from the lorry. I live streamed going past the crowd, so doing it a different way that time. But of course, I couldn't live stream all the other floats that year. But anyway, in between, so on Thursday night after the carnival, it was brought back and put on my front garden. So that was before I'd actually changed my garden, because now my garden has got pots all over it, but it was just a piece of grass. So we had the lorry put there. Took off the things overnight because we didn't take it all off. We didn't strip it all down, but we took off any bits that could be more vandalized, brought them indoors, and then we put them back on the lorry for sun. I say we, I'm using the royal we, because actually Tracy, and it was your family, wasn't it, that was doing it. So that I don't do ladders. I had to do a ladder to get onto the lorry, but that on and off. But other than that, I don't do ladders. And Tracy does do ladders. And Tracy was on the back of the float because, of course, for the illuminated carnival, we had to have lights all over the lorry. You know, I had got lots of lovely fairy lights, and I got sponsored for the lights. I went to a local company. I'm always liking to promote a business here and promote a business there, and do different ways of doing it. And so I went to a company that I know called called? Bulb. What's it? Bright Bulb. The company's called Bright Bulb. They do websites for people, and they help them with social media, that sort of thing. And I know I've watched that guy start his business and grow it to quite a big business. Now he and his wife are doing very well with their business. But I wanted to promote them more, so I said, "Hey, do you fancy sponsoring a few lights?" And I mean, these were things from Amazon that, quite. I'm not asking for great fortune, but some lights. If you sponsor the lights, I will put your banner on the lorry and promote your business. So we did that. So we got the lights, and Tracy put them up. On the Thursday night, we rode on open top bus. Oh yes, that's right, Tracy. So we didn't just have. She's just reminding me, Serena's bus. That's right. So we didn't just have the carnival float. I had linked up with Serena, who owned a bus, one of the old buses, and so we got her to bring her bus in behind our carnival float, and then Yvonne, of course. We had her go on the bus because she did, she's part of the Go Live Granny community, but she could not walk the streets, and so she was on the bus, and lots of other people were on the bus as well. That was great. So it was part of our carnival offering, shall we say. So she's saying yes, they were on the open top bus from St Helens into Ryde. That's right. So you rode on open top bus from St Helens into Ryde, and you had balloons on the upstairs of the bus, and you nearly lost them. That's right, absolutely. So yes, so it was all a lot of fun. I wouldn't want Tracy and her family did this most amazing job of putting all the lights on and putting all the things back on that we'd taken off. And what I did, so I live in this flat that sits on two garages, and my garden is in front of the garages at my front door. And I've got in the other room, I've got a balcony. It's a Juliet balcony, so it's not a proper balcony. It's just French doors that open, but you can't go out on a balcony. It's just got rails. And I stood there and watched and chatted to them while they did all the work. Wasn't I naughty? There you go. 2018, says Richard. It was. I thought it was. So Ailey's busy knitting rabbits from Knitted Squares. You're doing them for your charity centre, Scott, for the charity shop. Your starting point towards Easter. Absolutely. I bought some bunny ears. Does that count? I bought some bunny ears yesterday. We'll do sharing carpentry. Sykes Woodyard in Atherstone, Leicestershire is 12 huge hangers. This is Deb's coming in. Whoops. Let's put that in. Deb's is saying we'll do sharing carpentry. Sykes Woodyard in Atherstone, Leicestershire is 12 huge hangers of all woods heaven. Finding out tomorrow if they deliver or we can collect. Could do with that lorry. Yes, I bet you could. But it's here on the island, I'm afraid. So there we go. And Ailey has saying she's knitted. She sent a YouTube video of knitted rabbits to the community page. So I will approve that afterwards. Anybody sends anything to the community page, I have to approve it before it goes on. Otherwise, you can imagine what happens. People might send all sorts of stuff. Tracy's saying she has to say it was good fun. She does tease me all the time about never having had her gold star. I will have to rectify that one day, I think. But yes, anyway, it was great fun. But I was so grateful to Tracy because, of course, having mobility issues and trying to get up on a lorry doesn't really mix very well. Perhaps I should have had somebody put a ramp up. Then I could have gone up on the ramp with Navy Nora. But there you go. Carol's saying, do you remember the bicycle float Nathan was on? I'm not sure if I do. I'm getting very forgetful, Carol Ann. If you can find anything linked to it, message, send it to me. Let's have a look. Did I miss anything back there? No, I think I. Kath saying she hopes we can meet up again in the near future, Debs. I'm sure we can because I will be up in that part of the world again, and you two live in that part of the world, so I will. I'm sure we'll do it again. Tracy's saying it was good fun. Sounds like a lot of work, Debs. It does sound like a lot of work. Oh yes, Tracy is reminding me of this. She said we had a big ball of wool and knitting needles. Where did they go after that, Lynn? Oh, well, funnily enough, Tracy, we were talking about that recently. And not to be too morbid about it, but not this time. Hang on, I'm just going to get another drink. Oh no, I've got a bit of drink left. Not to be too morbid about it, but when I was up in the north, so I've just been, I just came back from the north on Monday. But when I was in the north the previous time, my future daughter-in-law, and very soon I'll be able to call her my daughter-in-law, very soon. So my future daughter-in-law said to me, had I discussed with my family what sort of celebration I wanted as a celebration of my life when I'm not here anymore. And some people don't like talking about these things, but death is one of the most inevitable things that's going to happen. One of the most certain things in life, that we are all going to pass away at some stage, whether it be when we're young or when we're old or whatever. I do hope I've got a few more years in me yet. Who knows? I nearly lost my life in 2022, but I didn't, and I'm still here, thanks to those wonderful doctors at St Mary's. But you don't know. And the thing is, the family would like to give you, probably most of our families would like to give us the send off we would want. So they were discussing this with me. And you might be able to guess where this conversation is going, Tracy, because Tracy wants to know. On that float, I forgot to say, but Tracy's reminded me, we had knitting needles, huge knitting needles, made by Mark, who was one of the Go Live Granny community. So he made me some giant knitting needles, and I made a huge ball of wool. I did it over a balloon, blew the balloon up, and then wrapped the balloon with put glue all over it and wrapped it with big, very fat purple wool. As the whole float was purple, as you can imagine, and glittery and shiny. So we were talking about it, and I was about my celebration of life. I haven't written it down, but I have had this conversation with them in the north. I have had this conversation with my daughter, and I don't know if I had it with my other son, but I'm going to write it down and put it all down for them. And they can get it off of here, because it'll be recorded on here now, what I was saying. So my celebration of life has got to be about fun, because I like fun, and I don't like days like last Monday. So that was not fun. It's got to be a fun day. It's got to be a day remembering lots of happy times, and it's got to have knitting in it. It's got to have sparkle. It's got to have purple. And I forgot the rest. I forgot to tell you about the rest of the days of the week. I just noticed my nails. We'll go back there in a minute if you've got time to stay and listen. So let's go on. Wait a minute. Hang on. So I'm talking now about the big balls. So it's the big ball of wool. So I was saying, I started by saying, well, everybody's got to wear bright clothes. There's got to be a lot of purple in it, because and then I thought, well, maybe my car, let's call it a casket. It sounds nicer than a coffin, doesn't it? And that would have to be perhaps draped in something purpley and sparkly. And then I thought of the knitting needles, and I thought, well, the knitting needles will have to make an appearance, maybe on the top, I don't know, and a big ball. The ball of wool has disintegrated, so somebody would have to make another ball of wool. I could make one now. It might be fine, or it might, if it's years to come, it might disintegrate again. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll have to have this big ball of wool. And then somebody said, what music? Well, there's a song called the Knitting Song, and it goes knit one, purl one, and then something else I can't remember. If somebody can find the link to that, we can put it on, in the page on the Go Live Granny pages. So I found that, and then all these fun things. So that's what's going to happen to the knitting needles and the wool. So now you know, Tracy, and now my family know too. You overpost. Sometimes, Ailey, sometimes I don't let every post go through, because I do feel that sometimes we need to give other people a chance. But I don't. It's nice that you do post quite a lot of things. Heather's saying she started her purchases for the 8 Easter baskets she makes up. Also for the scavenger hunt you have them do to find their baskets. Oh, that's lovely. At Easter, I'm going to be with my family. So all my grandchildren, and 2 of my 3 children. Kath says she doesn't think you overpost. It's good to take part in things and contribute. Well, Kath, Ailey knows how. I have to authorize a post, and I haven't authorized all of them, just so that it isn't an overposting, and I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. So Ailey saying she recalls my mother making rabbits from what? No, my mother made them from flannels. What she did, she got a square flannel, and she would roll it up, and then I'd have to do a demonstration. So I haven't got a flannel. I'll bring one next time and I'll show you. So you then wrap a bit round for its ears, and then you fold it and wrap it round, and you can make a little rabbit out of it. So I'll have a go at that, and I'll put a video. I'll make a video of me doing that, and then you can see. But Ailey remembers all these things. So and so it was a flannel, but we made it into a rabbit, and then gave it to my teachers as an Easter present. So that was really nice. So Debs is saying she doesn't want to waste a social services offer of a mismatched banister on different sides of the stairs when you can make your own. Oh right, that's what it is. So Debs is going to make her own banister. Debs is very talented in that direction. Lots of you have got lots of lovely talents. Cass saying you are amazing, Deb. That's it. Right. Oh, I no. Carol's saying that they on my as part of my service, there should be a board with all my train and ferry tickets and a guard's hat. Oh, and talking of hats, what I said was I want, because I have all these different hats. I started off with this one on tonight, didn't I? But I have different hats. I have bunny ears. I have hats with bat boppers and Christmas boppers and all sorts of things. I have mad and wacky wigs. I want people coming to my celebration of life to wear them. Let's have them all on parade. That's presuming people want to come to my celebration of life. They might not. They might be glad I've gone. But I can live in that world where I think, oh, it will be fun. And in fact, one of my grandchildren said, well, I want the one with the Father Christmas with his legs sticking out the chimney. So I've got a hat like that too. Debs is saying thank you for the big needles reminder. She's got a PhD, and a PhD is what she's referring to is a project half done, because when we talk about our PhDs, it's usually some work we've started and not finished. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to have to hold because the battery's dying. Wait a minute. And because I've got you in the stand, I can't hold the stand on there because I can't plug it in. So see, look, I've got the wire now. You're plugged in now. So we have you over here. This is the little stand you stand in, but I can't do it so that it should go up and let the wire come out the bottom. But I think it keeps sliding down. Let's see. No, it won't, because if I turn it like that, the wire's in the way. It won't. So let's see. No, we'll put you over. I just have to hold you over here. So, right, let's see where we're at. Right, who's seen the ball of wool with needles that took part in the mask singing on TV? I haven't seen that. I am going to be back at my daughter's shortly, and I am looking forward. Now, no spoiler alerts. Traitors was not something I ever watched before. But when I was spending so much time at my daughter's and they were all watching the Traitors, I decided to join in and watch the Traitors, and I really loved it. So after we watched the recent series, we then went back and watched series 1. And we managed to watch that. And of course, there are no spoiler alerts because that was such a long time ago that there was nobody putting spoiler alerts out on social media. Because that's what you have. If you don't watch it when it actually is live, then sometimes it gets spoilt for you. So we're now just going into I said to her tonight, I'm really looking forward to being back. And can we start watching Traitors series 2 tomorrow night, which we are going to do. Anyway, Debs was saying thanks for the. This is what she. Thanks for your big needles reminder. You have a PhD, so a project half done of hollow needles and a screw top that holds knitting needles. Big needles are for knitting recycled t-shirt bathroom mats. Excellent. Excellent, Devs. Don't forget the Easter Hat Parade. Yes, folks, if you want to take part in the Easter Hat Parade, I want pictures of your Easter hats. I'll have to say when I'm going to see when we're going to do that, because actually Easter weekend might be a little tricky for me. So around Easter, we'll have to decide when we're going to do that. We could, if anybody wanted to come live in the broadcast, I can bring visitors in. So if you wanted to put your hat on and then appear in the screen, on the screen, and we'll have to sort out actually getting the thing in landscape. But I'm gonna follow up your idea, Tracy, and see if I can get see if I can sort out why I keep going. But what I don't understand is if it's on auto rotate, why doesn't it go immediately the other way around? Because it doesn't. It lulls me into a full sense of security of thinking that I've got it in landscape, and then a few minutes later it rotates. So I don't get it. Anyway, we'll see. Ailey's saying she loved the wigs and the blue and white one for Scotland. Yes, so I have my mad and wacky wigs, and I made a blue and white one. I've made blue and white ones. I've made blue ones. So blue and white for Scotland. I made blue ones for somebody who was running a marathon. Paul, who was running a marathon for prostate cancer. So blue is their colour. So I did that. Do you have a PC? I do have a PC, yes, but I don't have a camera on it, so I can't stream from my PC because I don't have a camera or a microphone. So to edit my videos, no, I'm not very good at editing videos. I absolutely like doing live stream, and then I don't have to do any editing. I don't want to be doing editing. But anyway, let's see. So you're going to watch Traitors 2, then you haven't watched any yet. So Kath and I are always chatting online, and she said that she wanted to know when I was going to watch the next series so that we could watch it at the same time and compare notes, so that she's going to start watching Traitors 2 now. So we don't want any spoiler alerts. Don't anybody tell us what happens. Ailey's done a lot of charity knitting for Lynn Go Live Granny over the years. Yes, you have. Now, I do need to put you down. Wait a minute. I'll take the wire out for a minute and put you down, because I showed you Patricia's bag of all her 60 hats, but what I didn't show you was what I've got in this purple bag. Now, this purple bag has come from it's like she did it on purpose. This is these are the bags that Helen uses from Isle of Wool. Not just for me, but for everybody. What's this? Oh, that rotation of screens is a bother. I need a camera too. How do you what it? Sorry, Bob. I'm a bit confused by what you mean there. Perhaps you could write that again. So anyway, in here, there's a lot more hats. And these ones are not from Isle of Wool, but they are from Titch Nana Tig, who sent them to the Isle of Wool shop with my name on it. Do I still have Trixie? Yes, I do still have Trixie. Trixie is a puppet that Corrie bought for me. Anybody tagged Corrie in the live stream? I don't think you have. So there were 2 bags like this. Which platform do we watch Traitors on? Oh, how do I watch it? Sorry, that's what it meant. I can't remember. It might be on iPlayer, BBC iPlayer, I think. Thanks, Kath. It might be on BBC iPlayer. I can't remember. My daughter usually switches it on. I think that's what it is, probably. Anyway, so look. So there was one of these, and then there was a second one of these, right? iPlayer for Traitors, thank you. So I haven't even looked in these, and I've forgotten how many hats. BBC iPlayer now. Thank you, Susan. So I haven't looked in these. So I'm actually going to tip this bag out. This one, so if anybody does send anything to me, fortunately this one arrived okay, not a problem, like that. But this one, the postman was great. Apparently, as he went to get it out of his van, that burst a bit. So we would need more. If any of you use these sticky bags, put something extra sticky on it, because this one burst open, but he thinks he got the whole content. I haven't counted. I've got to look back and see how many were in here. Then I've got to look and count and see if we've got the right number. But the postman said it actually burst in his hand. So just a word of warning, because obviously we don't want anybody sending stuff and doing all that hard work and then it bursting and losing their hard work, you know, somewhere in a postman's van. But fortunately, we think he's got them all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip that lot out. Oh, there's a piece of paper in here. Probably got a little note on it, has it? Let's see. Right. Now I know who she is. Oh, there she is, Titch Nana Tick. So I'm just reading your note, Tracy. Do you mind if I read it out? Is that okay? So that's wonderful. I'll read some of it out. I might not read the explanation at the bottom. But so it's actually, she's another Tracy. How lovely to have another Tracy in the. I did wonder what, you know, how the combination of names, and it confused me a bit because obviously I like to have an idea of who I'm talking to, and I've got one or two where it throws me off the scent. I assume that you might be a Nana, and then it was another combination around that, and I can see what you've put at the bottom of the letter. But anyway, here are the hats I promised, 75 in each bag. Didn't have a bigger bag. No, not to worry. But if I don't know if you're going to do any more. I'm not saying that I want you to, but if you are doing any more, can you stick something extra, because that sorry, it would have been awful if we'd lost any of them. I don't think we have. The postman thinks that he managed to catch them all, so that's brilliant. But I'm so thrilled to bits to have all these. So now she's there, I'm going to open the bags up and I'm going to, let's have a look at some of these wonderful hats. So, oh, wait a minute. I need something to hang it up. I haven't got a hook. I need to put a hook here. That's what I'll do next time. I'll put a hook on the, I don't think I've got one, have I? I'll tell you what, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back. Yes, more tape clips, that's all. Or Tracy. Can I call you Tracy? Is that okay? I'm just going to go and get a hook, because then I can hang this bag up and show you from inside it. Just a minute. Sit still. Don't run away. Whoops. I got to move you a minute because I can't get by the box. I might knock you down because you're balanced on the side of the table. Whoops. I'll be back. I'm on my way back. Here I come. Ready or not, isn't that what the children say? Just a minute. I've got to move and knock something down, and there's not a lot of space around here. Whoops. Good job I'm 3.5 stone lighter than I was. Then I can get past. Whoops. There we go. So, I've got some hooks, so I can hook. Look what I've done. I've put a hook on there. Now I can hang the bag up. All part of the plan. Right, so let's let's hang that on there. And then I can look. Let's have a look at some of the. Oh, look, lovely. Green and white. What have we got here? We've got ones with little different shapes. Oh, that one nearly blends into me, doesn't it? Another green and white one. Oh, look. So beautiful. Look at all these lovely hats. Look. Lots and lots. What I'll do is I'll lay them out and I'll take a picture of all Tracy's hats. Let's have a look. Look, oh, stripy ones, all sorts. Look at them. They're just beautiful. That's what I'll do. I won't open the other bag now. I'll open it afterwards and I'll lay that. Oh, fluffy wool. Look at that. Oh, these are amazing, Tracy. That's brilliant. Look, all sorts of different colours there. Actually, I won't go through them all now. What I will do is lay them out and take a picture. I'm never going to get to bed tonight, but never mind. We'll watch the rest on replay, Lynn. You keep losing the broadcast. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Kath. But it was good to have you in here, and it was really good to have you pick me up the other day. Right. It's cutting out, is it? I don't know why it's cutting out. So there we go. Sorry about that, Kath. Have you tried YouTube? Try coming in on YouTube. We are over on YouTube. We managed to get it on YouTube today. So I don't know. So let's have a look. Where did we get to? By hook or by crook, you will find one. I knew where they were. I had them on the hooks hanging on my kitchen cupboards because sometimes I want to hang things on there. So I knew exactly where they were. The balloons on the bus go up, up, up. They did go up, up, up on the bus. So anyway, right. So where would I was? Oh, so yes. So that 150. So we have so this was I collected these yesterday. So it's Sunday today, isn't it? So yesterday I collected these. I was in the Isle of Wool yesterday. 150 there, 60 there. So that's 210. My daughter and I have done at least 160. So that's 380. Jackie Hennessy, I think, has done some. Hang on, I'm going to have to plug you in again because the battery's dying. There we go. So we're totting up. Of course, Tracy, not Tracy, Helen at Isle of Wool threw the gauntlet down, and she said, "Could we and our community make more than she and Anne have done?" She and Anne, her assistant in the shop, they've done about 460, I think. I know that but they're cooling off at the minute because they've got to do some commission. They've got to knit and crochet some commissions, and I've got to finish my granddaughter's cardigan that's needs to be ready for the wedding, and I've got some craft bits to do, and then I'll be back on the train. I will make some because I don't do white knitting, the cardigan knitting on the train because it will get dirty. So there we go. Beautiful knitting, and everyone, it is a donation to a good cause. It is. Deb says her broadcast is dropping out too. Tin can string not tight enough. It is 28 stitches, Ailey. 28 stitches, number 4 needles. Knit. I usually, it depends. Some of the basic ones. So in my bag, which I showed you just now, I must show you a couple that I did this week, because if you've been watching, if you've seen the hats that I made for my grandchildren, these are miniature ones using the same wool like the ones I made for my grandchildren. There's one of them. Just making a miniature version of what my grandchildren had. There we go. Those were the colours that I used for my grandchildren. Oh, you switched onto YouTube. Excellent. There she is. Kath has come in on YouTube. So is that working better for you? That's good. So yes, so I've been using. Oops, I picked these out and showed them where the phone was standing. I'd be dangerous with the brain, wouldn't I? I'm holding the phone here and showing the hats to the phone stand that the phone isn't on. How daft am I? So look, nice bright colours. But my daughter and I, we will. My daughter had stopped knitting them because she sits and knits when I'm knitting. But she said she's not getting any work done in her house. So while I've been away, she's doing a lot of the work that she needs to do, tidying up the house, so that tomorrow, when we're sitting watching Traitors, we could do our knitting as well. It's lovely. I'm really enjoying time with my daughter. There's been a lot of times when we haven't been together, but it's really nice, and I'm looking forward. I mean, I live on my own, and I'm quite happy living on my own, or I was. Now it's really strange when I come back to the flat and I'm here on my own. I'm really looking forward to going back and seeing them. So, but I will be back again. I'm backwards and forwards, various bits and pieces. I've got to come back the week, probably the end of this week. I haven't decided, but probably the end of this week because I've got to get my new glasses. So I went to the opticians. That's right. I had my hair done on Wednesday. Never did finish the week off, did I? Telling you what I did. So I had my hair done. Oh, before I had my hair done, I had to get up early on Wednesday. I don't do early, but I did do early on Wednesday because I'd had an issue with my stair lift. And it's new, my stair lift. And it brings me up because, of course, I live upstairs. So I have to come up the stairs before I get in, before my flat starts. My flat starts at the front door downstairs, but you open it up and then you just come straight up the stairs. Then it's my landing and here where I am. But as you, so I need the stair lift to come up, and I still can get up without, but it's much easier with. And so I get to nearly to the top of the stairs, and then I was having an issue because when it gets to the top of the stairs, it's then supposed to turn me round and deposit me on the landing like that. Not deposit me, but I step off onto the landing. So if I'm this way, I'm stepping off onto a stair. So when I get it comes sideways up like that, and then it starts to go beep, 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 and it turns me round like that. Only it wasn't turning me round like that. It was just going. It was getting to here, and it's going beep, 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 and it wouldn't turn me. So I had to get off on the top step. A bit of a palaver, and could be a bit dangerous if. Anyway, so John had a look at it, and he couldn't see what was the problem with it. He did put something had fallen off, and he rescrewed something, but apart from that, we couldn't work it out. So I rang Island Mobility, and they came. They wanted to come at 8 o'clock in the. Was it 8 o'clock? Yes, it was. Or was it 9 o'clock? No, I think it was 8 o'clock in the morning. Ugh. And so I said I'd be up, and I let them in, and it was a very quick fix. What had happened, it just needed a slight adjustment because the step where I put my feet was hitting the top step, and he just needed to adjust it so it didn't hit, so it was higher up and it would actually turn. So now we're in business with that. Then my hairdresser came. It was a busy day on Wednesday, and then I had to go to the opticians and have an eye test and have some new glasses. And I always, you will notice I wear my glasses like this because I need glasses to see here, but I'm long-sighted for other things, And I remember my mum saying to me once, "Put those glasses up your nose." And I said, "I could do that, Mum, but then I couldn't see." So she was a bit of a bossy boot. So I put my glasses where I can see. That's why I'm always peering over the top. Well, that might become a thing of the past because I'm going to go. So I could have the choice of a pair of glasses like this and another pair for the long sight, or I could, and actually I do need something for that. That would be better. Or I could have bifocals, or I could have varifocals. So I have decided that I'm going to try varifocals. Now I've paid something towards that. Not a great deal. and I've got another bit to pay. But I can get my, if I don't like them, I can have my money back, and I can go for a different something else, because I might, apparently bifocals, you could actually see a line across the middle, and I didn't think I'd like that. I don't know. Any of you glasses wearers, let me know what you think. But I've gone for varifocals, so it grades, so that bit will be fine and that bit will be fine. Well, I hope it will. Let's see. Who knows? So that was Wednesday. Thursday we went over and did our networking over in Ventnor, and then we went to the Better Days Cafe, which is a wonderful cafe that does a great service in the community in Ventnor, and helps people out. People can come in there, and some of them would have a meal, and not pay, or pay very little, because Kirsty, who runs it, really cares about the community. She does all sorts of wonderful things for the community, and I had to help her fight her corner a few years ago, because Visit Isle of Wight wanted to put a big levy on her. They wanted to charge her £1,600 when she does all community work. So she was already fighting it. She's like me, and not going to go down without a fight. And then I added my bit in as well. I think she would have fought it anyway, but I just helped with it. Tracy's saying varifocals are great, Lynn. I wouldn't go back to the other ones. Excellent, thank you. Friday for Debs was an opening of our new range home-based store. Excellent. Oh dear, you'll be spending so much money in there. Lots of lovely free crafting things. Presents for our puppy too. Free? You got them free. That was wonderful. Carol's got varifocals as well, so let's hope I like them. Ailey's got bifocals. Her new glasses are brilliant. It's so easy to look down and see your knitting better. That's right, that's what we need. Ailey saying some people think smoothie hats are only used on bottles, but they reuse them on teddies, Barbie dolls, egg cups, all sorts of things. That's right, because you've got to recycle them, otherwise they'll go to landfill. So that's good. So I think we're going to, as a community, we're going to help Age UK Isle of Wight smash that target. So the target for the hats was 12,500. That's what we had to do in order to keep the money on the Isle of Wight. Anything over and above that is a bonus. But, if we didn't reach that, then the money would have gone to the main charity. So, you're really helping us to smash that total. That's amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled, because people that haven't knitted before, or haven't knitted for a long time, are asking me for wool and knit. Well, no, they're saying they want to knit, and because I've got so many needles and so much wool, if they're near me, I've been giving wool and needles. And it doesn't matter if it's one hat or two. I mean, Debs won't mind me saying she's made 1 or 2 hats for us, and she has hand tremors. So I am as thrilled to bits with the few that Debs manages, as much as the bigger numbers that other people do, because they don't have that problem. So the fact that you're doing any at all, Debs, is just amazing. I am thrilled to bits with them. So we don't mind whether it's 1 or 2, or whether it's 200 or whatever. So anyway, I will be trying to finish this cardigan off, and then getting back on my smoothie hat. Actually, I might do the smoothie hats while I'm watching Traitors, and do the cardigan during the day, because I need to concentrate on the cardigan, because it's a bit more. I've got to go round the corner. Sorry, I've got my hand over here, and because I'm in portrait, you can't see what I'm doing. That's why I like to be in landscape, that you can see better. So the cardigan curves at the bottom, around and that way, and I have to go through and pick up stitches, and got to be very careful about getting that curve right, because it can, go a bit dodgy. I had to redo it on the previous one. Knitting can be a strain on your eyes. Always take away. Yes, and I have got here, and then I bought for my daughter at my daughter's house. I bought the same. I've got, you can see it. I've got one here. If I put that light on, look, I've got one of these lights, the LED light, that I can put right over my knitting. So I've got this one in here that helps light this room, but I switch it off when I'm live streaming because otherwise it reflects on you. But I've got one in this where I sit in the other room. I've got one right so that when I'm knitting, it's right on my hands and my work, because then I don't strain my eyes. So that's good. And I've got another one in the lounge as well. I did have them, and I was moving one around, and then I thought that was stupid, so I bought one to stay in each place, and I don't have to carry my lamp around. Lady with the lamp. So so it's been quite a busy, full-on week. Friday, what did I do? I think I had a day at home on Friday. I can't quite remember. Somebody will tell me. And then on Saturday, I went into town. Oh, no, I didn't stay at home on Friday. And Kath will tell me I didn't stay at home on Friday. I stayed at home in the day, part of the day. And then Kath and John and I went to see the Bridget Jones film. What's it called? Mad About the Boy. That's it, Mad About the Boy. Now, I saw the first Bridget Jones, and I saw this one, but I haven't seen the in-between ones. So I don't know what the others are like. I'll have to catch up and see those, because it was really funny seeing her in the first one and then seeing her in this one many years later. So it would be interesting to see the others. But I haven't been to the cinema for such a long time. But we have a cinema in Ryde, and we're trying to encourage more people to use it, because otherwise we're going to lose it. Use it or lose it. It's just £5 to go to the cinema here. And although it's not, a very, it could do with a refurbish. But if they refurbished it, they would put the prices up, and it was comfortable enough, and it was okay. It was fine, and so I enjoyed that, and I didn't fall asleep. I said to Kath, "Poke me, I'm likely to fall asleep when I do that." Last time I went to cinema years ago, I did fall asleep. So anyway, she didn't need to poke me because I stayed away. At one point, I sort of felt like that, and then I was fine again. Was the film any good? Yes, it was. Susan's saying she loves Bridget Jones, and the other films are great, but haven't seen the latest one yet. Okay. So now all the comments at the minute were coming in from Facebook, but obviously Cass had got onto YouTube, so we still have YouTube going, I think, there. So I wasn't going to do such a long broadcast tonight, but what a palaver I've had this week. Let's hope it doesn't work like that. So I didn't finish telling you Saturday. So Saturday, I went to get new nails. Now, if you look at these are exactly the same design I had before. Oh, it's showing a reflection in the middle. I don't know. Wait a minute, how can I do it? So it's little hearts with little silver dots. So it's two purpley shades. And that's the colour I'm wearing for the wedding. But I'm not telling you anymore. So I had that. I thought I'd try that out to see if that works well. And it was perfect. I took part of my outfit with me and showed them, and they matched the colours beautifully. And so, that was really good. So I had infills this time. I didn't need new acrylics on. I had just an infill. Let's have a look. Got some more comments coming in. Ailey likes a nice big light. Scottish saying the big light. Was yes, the film was good. Sorry, £4. I got it wrong. Kath said it was £4 it cost us. Such a bargain. Can you believe it? What else much can you get for £4? What entertainment can you get for £4? Other than that, I'm sure you'd think of something. Tracy's saying your kids always use the Ryde Cinema, 3 times more expensive to use the Newport one. Yeah, well, so why would you do that? And of course, Tracy's in the middle of where she lives, is halfway between Newport and Ryde, or about, somewhere in the middle. So that's really good. So I did go out on Friday. I've been trying to do some bits and pieces around the flat and tidy up, because of course I'm not here and I've still got lots of things to sort out and tidy. I haven't put all the craft stuff into all the IKEA units yet. So every time I come back, I try and do a bit more. But of course, if I've had shenanigans like on Monday, that wipes me out for Tuesday. So I don't overdo it. So, and it's nobody else to worry about. It's me and my mess. So I have been doing a bit of tidying up and a bit of sorting out. So that's what I got to do. But Saturday, no. So I went I didn't get up too early. I thought I'll go out when I go out. And I was going to go, was I going to get a taxi? Oh, of course I had shenanigans earlier in the week, didn't I? When I was trying to get home from the opticians. That was a shenanigan day as well, because the buses weren't coming down Union Street where the opticians is. Not because Union Street's closed, but because Lynn Street's closed and the buses couldn't get along. Oh, actually, the 2s and the 3s come the other way. They could come round. The 9s or the 37s weren't coming that way. So I thought, I'll get a taxi. Because I was tired and I wanted to get home and it's cold, and it's not very far, so it doesn't cost me a lot. And we couldn't get hold of the taxis. There's a fault on their line, although they keep being told there's not a fault on their line. But they must be losing business, because it kept saying, we can't connect you. And so the opticians rang on their phone, and they got the same thing. So in the end, I did catch a bus, and one of the ones that came the other way round, and I went down to the bottom of the road, and then I got a bus up to where I live. But of course, shenanigans again, because I get off at the stop I get off at. The bus couldn't stop there, could it? Because there's roadworks on the other side of the road, and if the bus stopped, it would stop all the traffic. So they've got traffic lights round the roadworks, and of course, as I was coming along from there, I thought, I don't think the bus is going to stop at my bus stop, and of course it didn't. It went past. There is a temporary bus stop before you get to the next one, but it's already taken me downhill, and now I have to walk back up the hill. So that wasn't very helpful either. And so, that was a bit of a pain. So, of course, I had the same thing yesterday when I wanted to come home. I was stayed in town all day yesterday. So I went, how did I go? Yes, so what I did to get to where I wanted to go for my nails yesterday, I went on the bus that wasn't going to stop in Union Street, but it didn't matter. It went round the side and it stopped at the bottom on the esplanade, but the nail shop is only just at the bottom of Union Street by the esplanade, so I didn't have a problem. And what I did, they like cash in the nail shop, so I went in the station and got the cash, and then I came across to have my nails done. I thought, oh, there's going to be a queue, because they do walk-ins, it's not really an appointment. I thought, oh, I'll probably have to sit and wait. I'll take my knitting. I didn't even get a chance to sit anywhere else. They hadn't only got one customer in, so I was straight away. They were very quick doing that. Then I went across the street, because there's a lovely handbag shop, and the only thing I want, I have got a handbag that matches my outfit for the wedding, but I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Years ago it got put away and I don't know. At bottom of Union Street on the left, Carol. That's where I have my nails done. Do I live in Scotland? No, I don't live in Scotland. Ailey and Andrew live in Scotland. I live on the Isle of Wight, Bob. And if you look at the UK, say that's the UK, the Isle of Wight is right at the bottom. It's across the water from the UK. Only a little bit. It takes me 10 minutes when I'm on the hovercraft, or if I go the other way around, it takes 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm very near. I am part of the UK, but very, not quite attached. But it's very nice. So that we can see the mainland, we can see across the water to Portsmouth, unless it's a foggy day, and then it looks like somebody's stolen Portsmouth when it's foggy. But it's very beautiful. And so I went across the road to the bag shop, but she didn't have a bag. She had lots of lovely bags, but she didn't have a bag that would be suitable for the wedding. But I've got one bag I think might work. Or when I come home next time, I might be able to find the bag that I've got somewhere in one of my cupboards. So I went there, and then I poodled up. And Union Street is like that. And I was at the bottom of Union Street. And of course, I could have got the bus round to the top because I got a free bus pass. But I wanted to go in Hearst, and I wanted to go in the House of Zabray, whatever they call it. And I wanted to go in Mia's and all the shops up there. Do you get off at Wetherspoon? No, that's where I would get off, Carol, if Lynn Street was open. But the buses can't come along Lynn Street and into Union Street. They're going straight down West Street, down to the seafront. But coming back, what happened? When I was coming back, the bus went straight past my stop, and they'd got a temporary stop further down, on that near Ringwood Road. I ended up, if you know where that is, and then I had to walk right up the hill. When I go to Newport, I walk to that bus stop because it's all downhill. So going the other way, I don't mind because it's downhill, but I don't like walking uphill because it makes me a bit weary. But anyway, so yeah, so on Saturday I had a wonderful day. I went out, popcorn yellow striped smile. Popcorn yellow striped smile. Okay. So when I finished at the nail shop, I went in the bag shop and I was chatting with Dee. She's 88, the lady that runs that shop. She's so lovely, and I've known her from years ago. We were setting the world to rights, and then a lady came in and bought a beautiful rainbow backpack, and I'd seen this in the window and I loved it, but backpacks and me don't work because I have a big coat, and to get a backpack on, it's very difficult if you're over a thick coat. And then if you need to go to the loo in a hurry, like I often do, excuse me, too much information, I know, then you've got a backpack on, you can't get your coat off, and then, disaster might strike. So we won't go there. So I loved it because it was rainbow, but it wasn't any good for me. Anyway, a lady came in and bought it, and then we ended up chatting. We must have been chatting for half an hour. She was a lovely lady. She did stuff for charity, and so does Dee. And Dee had made 200 smoothie hats, and she didn't know that we were collecting them. She said, "Oh, where should I take them?" I said, "Well, you can take them to the office, or you can give them if you give them to Isle of Wolves, she'll give them to me, or she'll let me know, and I'll collect them from there, and they can be part of the Go Live Granny community collection." So she's got 200. So if she gives us hers, then we will be in the lead. Oh, we will be definitely beating Helen and Anne. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We've set it as a bit of a competition, to see who could do the most. But what we're really doing is raising awareness and having fun online. So we don't mind which of us wins, just as long as we keep getting more and more hats and make a great title. You're watching Squid Game Series 2, Episode 3 at the moment. That's Bob is watching that on Netflix. Ailey's saying good night from Scotland and happy knitting. I must say good night in a minute because I really have things to do before I go to bed. And actually, last night I didn't sleep very well, and I knew that I'd got busy time and more travelling, and so I really wanted to sleep. So I didn't get out. Usually I get up when I can't sleep and just do things, and I didn't. I stayed there, and eventually at 7 o'clock this morning I went to sleep. And I went to sleep, and I think I slept for about 6 hours. I slept 6 hours. I woke up about 1 o'clock. So I caught up on some of my sleep, which was good. So there we go. Anyway, so folks, that was a bit of a roundup of all the shenanigans that I had this week. I had some lovely times as well, of course. I met up with friends. I had my hair done. I sorted out my glasses, all those sorts of things. But travel shenanigans of the worst sort. So tomorrow I will be in touch with Cross Country. In fact, no, I will probably email them before I go to bed, telling them, or no, I don't. I've got a month to reply to the fact that they won't give me my refund. So I might actually not do it till I get, later in the day. And so got to get ready, got to pack. Steve's back home. Well, Steve, we carried on chatting. So I've been live for 2 hours, 32 minutes and 58 seconds. Oh, my goodness me. Kath's back on Facebook there. She doesn't go to the cinema a lot, but she likes it for certain films. It's a nice change. But yes, so do I drive I don't drive at all. Oh, are you asking, Steve? Kath wasn't going to let a £4 ticket go. No, that was a real bargain, wasn't it? So, yes, and of course we'd have to wait till it came on so that we could stream it for anywhere free. You can watch the bit you missed tomorrow. Yes, okay, it wasn't a bit; it was quite a lot. So anyway, my throat, as you can hear, is getting a bit dry. I need to go. I need to go and get ready. I need to tidy up. I need to put all these hats out and make a lovely picture with all Tracy's hats and with Patricia's hats, all those things. Carol Ann's saying, do I know about the bladder and bowel site where you can download a thing you can on your phone wallet to say you can't wait? It's very handy. You've often do. Oh, right. Okay. I think you told me about it before and I totally forgot about it. I do. Oh, yeah. I have Shenanigans with my radar key. I'm going to go in a minute, but I always have to do the, just before we go a bit. So my radar key, as you know, I bought the bag, the bigger bag, so I could get my radar key in and out quickly and back in but the doors are some of those toilet doors that you use the radar key on, stupid, because you put your key in and you have to use the key as a handle to pull the door open because there's no handle on the door. How bloody stupid is that? So, you're doing this. You might be desperate for the toilet, as lots of us are, and then you're trying to get the door open, and you can't get the door open because the key might come out again. So you have to put it in again and pull again, and then I got this bag that I could quickly throw the key back in, because if you put it down inside the toilet, then you might go out of the toilet without it, and then the door will lock and you can't get your key, or you might forget it. So, what shenanigans. Tracy's saying, all of you Tracy's, it's getting as bad as all of the Steves. It is, isn't it? So lots of Steves and lots of Tracy's. Do you get yes, I do have a special key. It's called a radar key. And it was given to me. It's for people with disabilities or who need a toilet quickly. I don't know what the criteria is, but somebody gave me one. This is it. Look, it's a great big key. Look at it. So it has to go in, and you have to pull on the lock. Pull it like that sometimes, because some of the doors don't have a handle on them. And so it's called radar. It says radar NKS on it, but I didn't buy this. One of my community, when I was first having Shenanigans years ago, when I was travelling via Victoria train station, and when my daughter was in London and I was going via Victoria and all that palaver and trying to get on the underground as well, I often had issues with toilets and suitcases trying to get into, that sort of thing. And one of my community saw the Shenanigans I was having, and she gave me this key, and it's been very valuable to me ever since. So, but it lives in there, in that nice big pocket on my bag now, so I can just put it in and put it out quickly. So there we go. Done in Doris is Scottish Gaelic for shut the door. All right, done in Doris. Okay, there you go. Hope you have no shenanigans this week, says Debs. We are back to the Midlands for a while by car, A14 and M6 roadworks. Oh, what fun. You'll get your sister-in-law a radar key. Yes, absolutely. I don't know where you get them from, but obviously if you Google it, you'll be able to find out. There's a charge to it, but I was, one of my community saw all the shenanigans I was having and then got me one. Yes, because I was trying to find toilets and trying to get in toilets with suitcases and all that sort of thing, and needing a toilet quickly. That's right. And so it's been such it's worth its weight in gold. That Tracy's got one. They are quite heavy, aren't they? So I said it right. Excellent. Oh, you can get them off Amazon, can you? Oh, wow. I didn't know you could get them off Amazon. You can use in most places, cafes, etc., pubs. Oh, Carol is talking about, this app that she's got that you can show. Don't need a key, just show the screen. It should work in shops too. Well, there are 1 or 2 shops that let me use theirs because they know me personally. And so I have been okay round the town. And actually at Yelf's, I've just walked in as though I've owned the place if I've been near there. Sometimes the bolder you are, the better. Social services used to sell them, but I've seen them on Amazon and also in Boots the other day. Thank you. It's free. Oh, the link, the app that Carol's got is free, so she'll find the link. Thank you. And Elizabeth is saying thank you as well. Our local shop mobility sells them. Excellent. Well, here we are, part of the community, and we are giving each other all these wonderful top tips to make life a bit easier. Tracy, oh wait a minute, hang on. Oh right, thank you. I missed that. Elizabeth said, can her husband needs one desperately. So there you go. Excellent. You'll be able to get that because I tell you, it makes such a difference. Such a difference. Ailey's still here after saying goodnight 10 minutes ago. Well, I said goodnight about 10 minutes ago and I'm still here. But, these top tips of all these things that can help each of us, it's so, so valuable. I mean, it was through my community that I found out about the radar key. It was through my community that I found out that I could actually get a through ticket from the Isle of Wight all the way through to wherever I was going. I used to buy a ticket for the hover, a ticket for this train, a bus, or not bus because I got free bus pass, but wherever I was going, I would buy a separate ticket and pay a lot more money. And then I found out I could get through tickets and I could get them on, I could get good deals on them. Tracy's saying that she's just looked, a pack of 3 on Amazon, £5.29. Right, Steve is staying on until I actually sign out. If I don't sign out soon, I might fall asleep on the chair. I do feel quite sleepy. I've got a few bits and pieces to do. I've got to sort out some food because when I go back to my daughter's, I don't like leaving the fresh food here. So sometimes I whiz it up and make some soup if there's room in the freezer. I've got some carrots left over. I might have to make some carrot soup in a minute. So Elizabeth saying, oh, good night, everyone, says Debs. Thanks for the reminders. Excellent. Night, Debs. Oh, Ailey's made me a brew. Look, she's made me a brew. Thank you. I could do with that. Good night, everyone. Thank you. He's had to apply for a blue badge from the Liverpool City Council, and he's been awarded it for 3 years. He's on oxygen, and we have been going on hospital visits, and the walk nearly kills him. Absolutely. So yes, good idea. Well done. Thank you. That's very helpful, says Elizabeth. What time am I off? I have booked my taxi already because of all the shenanigans the other day. I booked my taxi yesterday for Monday morning. So I'm going off on Monday morning. Kath needs a brew. But you know what? I would love to have a brew now, but I'm going to have a cold drink because I have no milk. I have milk left. I've got a cartons of milk. I always keep the long life ones in. But as I'm going off tomorrow, I don't want to open a carton of milk now and then leave most of the carton to go off. So I know you can freeze it, but I haven't got room in the freezer if I've got soup to make. And so, oh, sorry. I'm going to have a cold drink instead. It's called a radar key. Can somebody write that in the comments, please, so that Elizabeth can see it? I think it's RADAR. RADAR. That's it. Look, wait a minute. Let's show you. It's a bit shiny and it's the wrong way round. Radar. Can somebody write radar in there? RADAR for Elizabeth to see. I'll enjoy one on the road tomorrow morning. Hopefully I will. Thank you, Steve. Thanks. Steve's put it in there. Elizabeth, let me show you because you're on Facebook and he's on. So can you see it up there in the comments up there? Because, of course, if you're on Facebook, you can see the Facebook comments. If you're on YouTube, you can see the YouTube comments. But if you're... yes, so if you're on Facebook, you can't see Steve's unless I put a comment up there. So there we go. And Carol's put it on there on Facebook. And Elizabeth is saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to blow you kisses. Thank you for being with me for 2 hours and 43 minutes. Oh my goodness. I do talk for England, don't I? And you'll get your daughter to order one from Amazon. Excellent. Well done, Elizabeth. So all being well, we'll see you next week. I may well be sitting here in this chair next week. Maybe next week I will be able to sort out how not to get the phone rotating. You know, we've worked out how to get onto. So I got onto the right YouTube channel by setting it up from my computer. But of course, I set it up from my computer, and then I forgot how to go live on my phone if I'd set up on my computer. But a quick message to Tristan told me how to do that. So that was sorted. That meant I didn't have to log in. If I did it from my computer, and the way I did it tonight, I didn't have to log in and get the code from Tristan again. It was a different way. Yes, I was going to send you a message as well, Tracy. Thank you very much indeed. And I really am going to go now. Night, night, everybody. We've had a wonderful evening, and lots of you giving lots of top tips. Have a wonderful week. Amazon are doing a Christmas wool and craft sale. Oh, don't tell me that. I don't need any more. But I'm sure I should go and have a peep now. There we go. It's also helpful. You'll let us know how you get on. Excellent. And safe travels. Well, I don't think this Monday travels can be as awful as last Monday's travels. I'm not going as far anyway. So hopefully. So good night and God bless everybody. See you soon. That's it. I really am going this time. Bye.